Malyshev 3 bets to 18 million. And a call. He could have been calling with a flush draw. Maybe just had a 6.
Ничего не вижу. Секундочку.
Да, один, правильно.
Чек.
He's checked. Filatov fires 20 million. Gets a call. The river is the 8 of hearts.
Похоже,
Wow.
дележка.
So now we can see Malyshev has got a flush.
Может быть.
Filatov with king 4. He had a king all along. And he doesn't lose another chip.
Ничего себе.
Не дележка?
Не
Wow.
дележка.
Had the river being a 4. Would have made his full house. Obviously if it paired the jack or the 6 as well.
Говорил шестевую.
Ну, я же говорил, 100 зон, как где может быть дележка?
So Filatov losing a few chips back. Lucky not to do more in that hand, I think. Nice hand on the button for Malyshev. 9-10 suited. Slow plays it just flatting, like he did with the ace-10 earlier. Filatov maybe a little bit hot after that last hand. Getting unlucky. Having flopped 3 kings. 3 bets to 30 million. Malyshev makes the call. So Queen 10 against 9-10 of spades. Is he going to make another flush? Not this time. C-bet potentially from Filatov here. 2 overs. He has 1 club in his hand. Well, that might not be enough to get rid of Malyshev. 25 million. 9-10, 2 overs, backdoor spades.
Страшный человек, и времени не хватает с ним бороться, он только такие рассказывает.
5, 3, 2, 1.
But it has
В прошлый раз, значит, поборолся, заборол меня вообще по полной программе.
Filatov going up and down. Back up to 455 now.
1-1.
Half the chips in play.
Ну, наконец-то можно ноги поставить нормально.
Чё тебе? Шеется там что-то?
Нет, я говорю, наконец-то можно ноги выпрямить. Я постоянно сижу, вот здесь вот ноги упираются, длинные,
Красивые, длинные.
стройные, стройные. Самое главное.
Что-то давно аварий не было.
Аварии почему-то у меня, у тебя, да, в последний раз происходили?
А ты все помнишь, да?
Конечно.
С 15.
Нет, я забываю только, когда это выиграл кого-то.
Ace 6 on the button this time.
Тут помню, тут не помню, что ли?
3-4 of spades.
Зачем это мне сюда даете вот эти пограничные руки вот эти вот?
Did well with deuce 4 of clubs. These two take each other on again. Malyshev taking the lead on the flop, pair of threes.
10.
Small C bet from Filatov. Malyshev will call once. Filatov checking. He's got the ace of clubs or the ace of spades. Two pair now for Malyshev. Filatov can only win this hand by bluffing. Not likely to do that. Maybe if a club comes on the river. Full house for Malyshev. Should stick to just playing small cards. Suspiciously small bet.
Хорошая ставка.
Yeah, he thinks his ace high might be good.
Хорошо.
He's not going to believe it when he turns over 3-4.
Фулик.
Full.
Нифига себе комбинация.
Хорошо, что не зарыть.
Filatov down to 4-15 now.
Ты не выкинуть мог. Побольше поставил, выкинул. Замаскированный, да, такой?
One of these three is going to be going home with $1 million. Beautiful trophy and the title of Millions Russia 2018 champion. Runner-up might have had a bad day.
Спасибо.
600,000
Хоть один комплимент от Покер Про получить за 5 дней игры.
and 500 for third
И то
place.
хорошо.
Сказал, что это так важно. Я бы... Я бы мог приврать.
Kazarian doesn't want to play those small cards that have been doing so well for Malyshev, especially not the button.
Пока ты надо мной издеваешься. Итак,
Malyshev
итак,
might
вот
limp
лучший
and
показал.
raise here if
Хаос.
Что-то я должен показать.
Filatov
Куда это годится?
raises his weak limp. And that's what he's going for. Thought he might. So,
Check.
well, he's checked it. So the trap didn't work yet. Ace queen, king six. And flops the ace. Bets 6,000. Filatov will call. 3 or a 7 would be good. Well, that'll slow things down because Filatov could have a 3. And 2 pair for Malyshev on the river. Problem here, you don't want to bet it and then get raised. Well, Filatov, he was well capable of making that play in the big blind.
25.
He has lost a few pots. Might not want to pull the trigger.
Тоже хорошая ставка.
Хороший пас опять.
Не знаю, не знаю. Ой, не уверен.
Shev and Filatov getting even closer in chips now. In the meantime, Kazarian's not really doing much. Hasn't had the run of the cards these two have had.
Видишь, вот это, знаешь, дураков всегда в глаза нахваливают, у нас так говорили. Хорошая ставка, хорошая это.
Не, ну нереально. Нормальная ставочка.
Ой,
12,
простите.
12 мне больше понравилось.
Ваши варианты.
И мое слово еще. Почему все время мое слово? Это получается.
Leave the blinds to battle it out. Filatov doesn't want to give a walk to Kazarian.
Семь. Ас.
And obviously because Kazarian didn't raise him pre-flop, it's easy for him to then lead on a king high board.
Зато не проиграешь.
Когда ты это вас не останавливал, я помню. А, разномастный, наверное. Вот Анатолий, конечно, может на 8-3 разномастных сыграть, но у него наклейка. Или нашивка это. Нашивка или наклейка?
Наклейка.
Наклейка? Нашивку еще не дали тебе.
Не, ну ошибка. Надо на одежду прям все. А одежды у меня много, не хватит нашивок.
А, ну это да. Вот это. Нужно специального человека.
Well, this time it's Filatov's chance with 9-10 suited on the button.
Пас. Вот видишь, я выкидывал. 7-3 разномастных.
And
я пас.
Malashev folds.
Заметил?
Хороший пас.
Спасибо. Опять дураков в глаза, похоже, нахваливают. Вот
Плохой
я
пас,
больше
хороший.
склоняюсь все к этому случаю.
Ререйс ставь, все, и не ошибешься никогда. Экшен получишь, значит точно позади. Не
У
получишь.
меня для этого десятки есть. Для этого всего. Проверил,
Десятка
как
это
стоит.
самое, что... Не, самое лучшее у тебя с туз-валет
С
было.
туалетом, да.
С туз-валетом,
Ну,
это да.
это-
Это твоя любимая.
Это будет моя любимая.
Десятка металь. Там,
Туалет мощная была раздача.
туз-валет это просто самое мощное.
Определила. всё.
Она скрасила мой ужин. Я думал,
Поэтому,
что мне показалось, но серьезно говорю.
да тебе показалось.
Kazarian,
Неправильно
again,
показали,
Наверное,
хорошо.
неправильно показалось.
like he had the king jack of clubs, he has a hand where if he gets played back at, he will be putting the rest in. Or if he hits any part of the flop,
Я знаю эту историю. Так и объявите там в прямом эфире.
100 million behind.
12, да?
Malashev stuck between him and Filatov. He will lay it down. And Filatov has king jack. Surprised that he didn't 3-bet there. Wow, what a flop. Top pair, nut flush draw. Filatov with the king of spades could get himself in a world of trouble if a spade comes. And there it is. 9 of spades on the turn. Kazarian has turned the stone cold nuts. Filatov has the king of spades. He calls to 25 million. And if another spade comes, unfortunately for him it didn't. I'm sure Kazarian's going to bet. Similar size bet, maybe a little bit more, 45. It's 100 million in the middle. Wants to get paid. A little bit more. I'd have gone about half pot. 50, is it? Let me just check. 55 million.
55?
Oh, this would be bad timing. You can see Kazarian has only got 111 million behind.
Пять.
He's still chip leader with 374 million. Sometimes you just got to let it go. What could Kazarian possibly be bluffing with only 100 million behind? If he's bluffing, he would have put the lot in. Called a Malyshev bet earlier with just ace high. Finds the fold. And he'll be very pleased that he did when he sees that in 30 minutes' time.
Блеф или не блеф? Либо блеф, либо нет. Либо что-то средненькое было. Были случаи, что было что-то среднее. Ну, получилось неплохо, красиво смотрелось.
Тяжело закалировать, тяжело.
Тяжело тебе? А представь, как нам тяжело с тобой.
Что, ничего не было? Кто с тобой ходит?
Туз был бы.
Malyshev on the button with ace deuce off.
Ну, это семерка.
А?
Семерка тебе по второму.
Рейс 12.
Семерка, ты что? Ну, я выбросил бы семерку.
12.
Как я могу выбросить семерку?
Я не знаю.
Filatov feeling a bit battered at the moment. He's lost 130 million chips.
Ну, почему бы не выбросить?
These two, as you can see, virtually level in chips. Could change after this. 5, 9, 8. Both players check. Malyshev catches the ace on the turn. Check and win. There you go.
Нацевый, да, флеш? Неплохо.
Чтоб не ждал 30 минут.
Что было? Насовый флеш? Почти запулил.
Чтоб не ждал 30 минут, говорю. Сейчас скажу. Что у тебя было? Привет,
Королик был.
король? Пиковый?
Пиковый.
Все, я тоже больше ничего не буду говорить. Ждите по полчаса.
Ждите ответа, да.
Да. Ждите своих агентов.
Filatov on the button. Pocket sixes. Makes it 15 million. Oh, Kazarian getting a bit jiggy here with 10-7 off. Calls the 15 million. This could allow a squeeze play from Malyshev, but just as likely just a flat here. Kazarian hadn't
Не хочется и колется.
flat called the 15. He wouldn't have done it, but in the end he elects to just call. So 48 million in the middle, all three in this hand. We're looking for an action flop. Malyshev with 10 jack, giving him an open-ended straight draw. Kazarian has completely missed. Filatov currently still in front. Pocket sixes. Malyshev will definitely call. $20 million. And he makes the call, so he's looking for a lot of cards on the turn to improve his hand. That's not one of them. Filatov could get this now. Malashev is going to try and represent this queen. And he gets it through. Filatov, sick of being beaten up, and just lets it go. Well played again by Malashev. And now, look at that for a change. Andrei Milashev is now chip leader. 340 million. Anatoly Filatov just behind with 333. And if Kazarian was to double up, he would be the chip leader. 40 bigs, 56 bigs, 57 bigs. Hard to pick a winner, isn't it? Kazarian with another big hand on the button. King Jack suited, ace 10 off, ace jack off. Malashev gets out the way. Filatov makes the call. King 10 7. Filatov with pocket tens, but does not want to make two pair. $56 million now in the middle. Turn is a 5. Arian continues to bet. $28 million this time. Filatov, a non-believer. Kazarian hits one of the cards he needed. Rivers the jack. And Filatov loses another pot. He's gone from chip leader to third. He's thinking I should have raised on the turn. Check called the flop, check called the turn, lost on the river. Malashev, biggest hand we've seen. Well, these players are three-handed, pocket jacks. He also had pocket tens earlier. Filatov folds and a quick fold from Kazarian. When you've lost a few pots, you start to lose that bit of flair that you had that got you there in the first place. I think 9 times out of 10, Filatov having check called that flop, he would have led the turn or check raised usually. That's second guessing himself. Ace 7 of diamonds. He's going to pick these up, I think. Kazarian, 12 million on the button. Oh, Filatov with a real hand. Second time we've seen pocket jacks in 3 hands.
37.
Пас.
Kazarian doesn't want to lose any chips at all. Back over 300 million, but still 200 million short of his peak. Looks like the blinds are up.
Малый?
There you see it. 3.5, 7, 3.5. Filatov makes up the big blind with 10-3 off. Queen 7 for Kazarian in position. And he flops 2 pair. So these players all very close now in chip count. Just a few big blinds separating them. Kazarian, ace, jack of clubs. Raises 8.5 million. Malyshev with queen 9 of spades. I think if Kazarian had limped there, Malyshev would have raised. So Malyshev elects to just call, having position on Kazarian. Oh, look at that for a flop. How unlucky is Kazarian that Malyshev has got none of it. He's flopped a nut flush, having turned the nut flush against Filatov earlier.
Да, тяжело, без очков далеко не вижу. То ли пики, то ли крести, то ли что там.
Yeah, they're
Все
clubs,
крести вы
not
ставите,
spades.
да? С какой целью?
I mean, imagine if Malyshev had queen 9 of clubs.
Кажется, что блефуете вы.
10 секунд.
А заколоть нечем.
5 секунд.
А можно было рейс, да? Вот это я забываю.
Не
всегда.
знаю. Не могу знать.
Там я видел хотя бы что-то. Я отсюда вообще ничего не вижу.
Well, chip lead is just swinging backwards and forwards at the moment.
Так, а я поставил уже? А где? А, все, что-то я смотрю.
Поплыл, что ли?
Нет, смотрю,
Анатолий.
не заметил. Фишки лежат уже.
Another small ace on the button for Kazarian. Ace 3 off last time he had
17.
А тут перехваченная инициатива.
when Filatov found jacks. This time he's got ace 4 off. Malyshev with jack 10 in the small blind.
Не могу сопротивляться.
Folds it. Filatov 10-7 off.
Check.
10-10-9. Wow, would have had a lot of chips flying in if Malyshev had called in the small blind with jack 10.
Check.
Чек.
Checks. Kazarian smells something and checks back. Full house for Filatov. And he would have been extremely lucky to be splitting the pot at this stage. Bets 45 million. And the only thing that Kazarian is beating, something like 7-8 or Jack Queen, that has missed. Folds.
Блефовал? Или
Filatov
сзади
is back
полчаса?
to chip leader, I believe.
Вообще отказался разговаривать.
That was actually a surprisingly tight fold from the way Malashev's been playing.
Будем ждать, получается. Три с половиной, да. Сложная система. Вот эта, да.
I'd expect Kazarian to raise here. Filatov limping in again. Ugh. Say that again. Filatov limping in again. And he does, raises 20 million.
Я так понимаю, пошла бескомпромиссная борьба. Все. Шутки кончились. Окей. Как скажешь.
So Filatov raised to 16 million and wow, Kazarian has 3-bet 45 million and Malashev has ace king. $71 million in the middle. Look at the stack sizes, 302, 230, 309, and as expected, Malashev has gone all in. Easy fold for Filatov, following a 3-bet and an all in. Now, does Kazarian think this is a move from Malashev? Could be his favourite hand, Queen Jack suited. And he makes the call.
У меня тоже была
He obviously likes this hand.
семерочки.
Ace King versus Queen Jack. Filatov folded sevens. And this pot basically either gets us heads up or pretty much close there. So Kazarian, willing to gamble with Queen Jack of Diamonds. Will it pay off? He's hit a jack. Kazarian takes the lead. 6 outs for Malashev. Ace or a king. No help on the turn. Kazarian's gamble may pay off here. And the river. Yep, 5 on the river. Wow, what a turn of events. Button raise from Filatov with pocket sevens. 3-bet from Kazarian with Queen Jack of Diamonds. Malashev shoves. Second chip leader at the time with Ace King, but Kazarian had the balls to call and he's been rewarded. Flopped the jack and wins the biggest pot of the day, 569 million. Leaves Malashev with just 33 million. And after all that excitement, I'm going to hand back to Mr. James Dempsey, who will take over the reins for the last hour or so. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had a fantastic time at Casino Sochi. Would like to thank all the team here for looking after us all. Really enjoyed it, and I'll be back next year for sure.
Шансы были у меня.
Meantime, I'm going to be going home, and the next Millions will be at Dustle Dawn, 29th September, 7th October. I'll be there for the end of it, and I will be in Bahama for any of you that have managed to qualify. Come out and join us in the Caribbean. Enjoy the
All right.
rest of this final.
Well,
Right,
thanks, Simon. And what a hand to end on, eh? That looked like some crazy action here at Sochi.
Не гарантированно. Не
As
гарантированно.
Simon is going to depart, thank him for taking over so I get a little break. Chance to devour 3 courses of food here in Sochi. First full go.
Осталось нырять своего просто.
I'm not alone in the booth. I dragged someone in with me. I am joined again by Phil Gruesome
Yeah, hello guys.
and by England's 47th all-time money winner, Mr. Jack Sinclair.
Who's 46th?
Oh, that'd be me, mate. That'd be
Yeah.
me. Yeah, okay. Just got you by
Yeah,
one.
I really wanted to cash here and overtake you.
Meanwhile, Kazarian has called the button. All right, we're limping in because we have Malashev with just a handful of blinds after that huge showdown.
Появились шансы выиграть $1 миллион, что ли?
And Malashev does call. Fedosov checks his option with 5-4 off.
So only 4 big blinds for Malashev here, right?
Yeah, it looks that way. We are at 3-6, I believe.
3.5, 7, eh?
Wow, even more interesting. Mm, 8-8-3, turn queen. Malashev will fire with his flush draw.
Вот это я понимаю победа.
Gets it through. Huge pickup for him.
I hope you've all been enjoying action three-handed. I was keeping an eye on the restaurant. I was sat there with both Jack and Phil.
Yeah, discussing our music video
Yeah, Phil, you
for
were
the future.
you were coming up with I think the order for the album, right? It seemed like that was the main.
Yeah, because some of my songs are too X-rated. So, you know, we had to choose, you know, a better song for the first one.
Меня тоже обыгрывал, если чё.
Yeah, well, the life of Philbort. I mean, not just working on his poker game, but working on his album. Remember, guys, if you do have any questions for myself, Jack, or Phil, please do fire them into the chat on mypartypokerlive.com. Is the place you can interact with the three of us as we take you through the late stages of this main event.
So Philbert just limps in here with 8-3 suited and checks second pair. Checks on the turn, which seems pretty reasonable. Obviously got a bet 2 pair on the river. Kazarian not taking any interest in that pot at any point. Yeah, you know, he won a big pot, so he's like, chill out now. Maybe, you know, check down, not try anything too special. Just waiting to get heads up.
Yeah, it certainly seems, obviously, when there's someone so short, these guys like Filatov and Kazarian, maybe just waiting for that heads-up play to start. Of course, you can't write Malashev off just yet. If anyone can spin up as him, we've seen him win multiple all-ins over the last couple of days.
So pretty, I think that's a pretty bad walk there from Kazarian. He just folds to 10-4 suited.
Wow, It's surprising,
with
especially from
Malyshev.
him.
Yeah,
He's so aggressive.
Malyshev has what's like 7 big blinds or so. Could just shove 10-4 suited. Can also limp. You're not going to get shoved on very much. Well, you are going to get shoved on a lot, but it's not like a disaster. Yeah, you also want to look at the person before you make a decision like that. I don't not look, so you know you want to know how they're feeling. Like maybe they're not liking the spot so much in the big blind. So yeah, that's a good point, Phil.
Yeah, Phil, obviously, we were discussing that early. You like to look at people, try and get a feel of how they are, try and read their character.
And this guy now feels good.
I thought he's got his sunglasses back on, and you said earlier that made he had a good hand. You know, when he took the sunglasses off, that's when he wasn't finding hands.
Yeah, maybe the sunglasses help. You know, get the good hands. Kazarian in the struggling here.
А нет, один из пятерок, кстати, как раз.
Oh no, he's already called. Right, so I thought he was struggling with the decision.
Right, he has called Jack 6-3. Does need that 5. Picks up some backdoor draws. Malyshev in a good spot to get back in the game. Well, turns top set, but does give Kazarian a flush draw.
It's actually a bad card for Malyshev. He's increased his outs quite a lot.
Needs to avoid a spade and does just that. 7 of diamonds. No help to Kazarian. Malyshev. Still not over 20 bigs, but has some fold equity now at least.
Yeah, and you know he's the situation having an effect on him here, I think, because the sunglasses still on, still looks tense. He's you know, normally you double up, you take the sunglasses off, you enjoy the moment a little bit.
Ну сколько здесь?
But you know, he's keeping it, he's stony, you know.
And Phil, what do you look at when you see Kazarian then? He looks just a bit, obviously it's only a small pot for him, but a little bit disappointed not to get to the heads-up stage right there and then.
Yeah, you know, you lose this size pot when you're all the same stack size and you don't care. But when you could get heads up and, you know, it's like there's a lot of tension now for the three-handed play. Yeah, I don't know, maybe he's a little tilt.
Malyshev with that is 20th double up of this event that I've seen. Giving himself a chance. Once.
Has he been the short stack grinder?
So he was short stack all of yesterday, and then he doubled up 3 times right at the end of the day yesterday and bagged the chip lead.
Right.
And then I missed the first few hours, the first 2 hours today. When he got to the final, he was the
Sleeping
shortest
in,
stack
huh?
then, and he's just laddered his way up to this stage. He has been active. It's just been the situations have gone.
That's
gone against him.
the Jack Sinclair style. It's just be a short stack the entire tournament.
Jack Sinclair style. Filatov completes in the small blind with 9-5 of clubs. Kazarian 8-4. Flop queen 6-4.
So Filatov just snap c-betting, or, you know, betting because he limped, but it's technically a c-bet. He was versus the check back. Not a lot going on for Filatov on this flop, but you know, it's a reasonable hand to c-bet. I'm not sure about this check fold on the turn.
Wow, yeah, he makes a pair. And just snap check folds to Kazarian.
I'm not sure how much Kazarian bet there, but
20 million to 48, I think. So interesting. It's an interesting one not to consider, at least. I mean, obviously Kazarian, you wouldn't think would bet anything worse for value. Well, clearly couldn't bet anything worse for value, but did bet his bottom pair with a spade and a gut shot. So
yeah, I mean,
but obviously that's lining up. If he's doing that, he's got to line up for a river bluff, right?
I mean, I don't know what Kazarian's lining up for.
I see Omjun Andritz again saying Phil is back in the chat on
Yeah,
partypokerlive.com. It is good
Thanks.
to have him back. We want a bit of food.
Nice to meet you, Honor Jen.
And, we did scoop up Jack with us.
Yeah, but no one's excited that I'm back.
We've all just come to see the Phil board. Well, Filatov limps the button, and this, Phil, is something we were talking about button limping strategies earlier. This, I guess, is the point. He can be put in a lot of pressure by Kazarian because of the ICM spots here, so he's going to limp in, and it's hard for Kazarian then just blast him out of pots, right?
Yeah, exactly. Filatov is really in the cage here if Kazarian decides to put him there.
Sure.
It could be one of the reasons why he decided to check fold the turn there with the 5. Because if Kazarian bets twice, there's nothing Filatov can do. So Anatoly was just trying to steal a small pot and then doesn't want anything to do with it, and he's in a marginal situation.
And this is an interesting spot. Kazarian now leads the turn with bottom pair and a gut shot. Malyshev counting out. It looks like a raising chips here with the 3 high flush draw. Filatov's actually sat around the back with the better hand. Malyshev, a bit of a gamesmanship there, perhaps counting out raise, deciding then just to call.
Yeah,
Filatov sees that and he wants to raise. This is an interesting line.
Yeah, I like the idea to raise with 3-do, but Kazarian not folding too much, I don't think, and but you do get Filatov out, so it's good. Yeah, and then Filatov's coming in here. He's pretty sure he's gonna have the best hand, like enough, but also really doesn't want to see a 3-way river on a dynamic board with 3rd pair. It's like not a great spot to overcall. So I like this raise. Very hard for anyone to have a really strong hand here.
Right, the strongest hands, a lot of them 3-bet pre-flop is, I guess, the point, and
2-bet, right? It was limp pot.
2-bet the flop.
Yeah.
You're quite correct.
2-bet pre-flop or lead flop, you know.
At the same time, is it not hard for Filatov to have a strong
It's
hand?
extremely hard for Filatov to have a strong hand in
He's
this
just,
spot.
I guess, playing on what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, there's also sort of a dynamic where if you take an aggressive action in a spot where you can never have a strong hand, or like seemingly never have a strong hand, it means you just have a strong hand this time, you know? Like you did something tricky at some point. And people give you way more credit when you rep no hands. I'm not sure how much that applies here, but there's another thing when you're 3-handed in a tournament where like there's spots where you're obviously full of it, but no one wants to like try and combat that for such high stakes, and they're just going to give you the benefit of the doubt and wait till they can play back with a strong hand.
Malyshev. Less than 15 bigs, ace, 10 of hearts in the small.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting choice here. I mean, if you have, it's basically a limp or shove. This hand's almost so good you want to trap it,
Первая плохая.
but at the same time, like
Вторая
it's
тоже.
almost bad enough that you don't want to trap it. So it's like right in the middle.
Тер вроде, но не получилось.
And there's always a chance, I guess. Malyshev won't be, he's not thinking of laddering up picks. He doesn't think these two are likely to play a big pot, but Kazarian sometimes just decides,
Yeah,
with Filatov, we're going to play a big pot, and you never know. Maybe he does ladder up.
it's actually extremely hard for him to ladder up in this exact situation. With Kazarian having a big chip lead, like Anatoly is going to be getting it in very tight versus Kazarian in any spot. So even though Kazarian might be blasting it off quite a lot, he's very unlikely to bust Filatov.
Right.
And so he might double Filatov up, but then he's still in the tournament and still got more chips than Malyshev. So it's actually really hard for Malyshev to ladder here, unless the situation changed. So while the situation is as it is, he should be playing pretty loose. Wouldn't be doing anything with Queen 3 off, though, on the button. It seems... yeah, it seems pretty bad.
Yes, 15 bigs.
And he does indeed pass.
And good thing he did pass. So Filatov limps in. And so, given the situation, obviously 8-6 suited is a fine hand to check back and see a flop with, but would you perhaps look to put pressure on with a hand like this?
Sure.
Maybe. I know Filatov is very aware of situations that favor limping over raising in the small blind. I've played with him before where he limped every single hand in the small blind, and will give some walks as well. So
7-7, пусть.
so he has a stronger range than average in the small blind, and probably isn't going to fold that much. So it's fine to raise 8-6 suited, but it's also fine to just check it back, and you know, you still can play effectively post flop because he's still in the cage. You know, it doesn't. So they play limp pot and there's 47 million in the flop on the turn, in the pot on the turn.
Right, and look at this. Filatov was called twice with ace high, and he's been outdrawn on the river. Kazarian pairing a 6. Did have an open in the straight draw, of course. Wasn't the toughest beat of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty.
Неправильно все. Две ставишь, всегда позади. Чек, чек,
Pretty easy
чек.
play for both players.
Наоборот, должно
Kazarian
быть
could
так.
even value bet the
Чекнул,
river there
купил, поставил.
in a limp
Так с
pot.
ними надо, потому что иначе этих...
Как с вами играть?
Как
Сверху гонишь. Чекаешь, вроде думаешь, выиграл, может быть.
Так а что, есть что показать, когда доезжает.
Согласился, согласился.
Вот так приходится блефовать, чтобы как-то украсть этот банк. Так
That's
возможно
how
и
things look. See Kazarian with 75 big blinds. Filatov 40. There's Malishev struggling with just 15 Biebers.
Beavers? What is a beaver?
кинул.
Just
That's a big
Bieber.
blind, Phil.
Прям вот.
Why you guys a beaver? You know, like, BB, big blind. Ah, I see, I see.
Filatov will raise 9s on the button. Even with a hand as strong as 9s, I guess he's kind of happy when Kazarian doesn't play back at him.
Yeah, 9's so strong that you can just raise and then not fold. But I mean, I don't know, maybe you do have to fold these at some point. You're not going to really love shoving if Kazarian 3-bets you here. So you kind of just have to call. But like 9's are so strong that, you know, you're not too upset about calling.
And I see in the chat Colin McGregor asking, when is the question for the 109 ticket? That will happen before the next break, or if we get to heads up play before then. When we get to heads up, I will ask you guys a question. And as always, the prize is a 109 ticket. To enter, you will need your mypartypokerlive.com account. So you'll have to enter in the chat box underneath the stream.
Yeah, I might enter that. I play 109s occasionally.
And of course, you'll need a real money Party Poker account for us to pay you. If you have both those things and the knowledge of the right answer, then your name will go into the draw. And on the far side of the break, we will reveal the winner.
Ограниченная?
And no jack, you can't win.
What?
А у тебя?
$109? Free money.
Я не смотрю, зачем.
And I'm banned.
And you're banned, I'm afraid.
For what? Why? What? Because I was the subject of one of the questions I noticed.
You were the subject. We try and keep it
My,
topical on the table.
Yeah.
I think it was how much you won for coming first in Rosvadov in a 25k.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't win the most money, you got the trophy. Huh?
It's true.
This guy plays for glory, not for money.
Like, sometimes you have to be humble and take a deal, you know?
Certainly do. Interesting, these guys, when they got three-handed, there was discussion of a deal. They all had very similar stacks, but there was no deal. They played
Yeah,
on.
I think it's very quite unlikely to be a deal when you're even stacked and one player is clearly much better.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
And they were deep.
Yeah. I say clearly much better, but like on paper, much better. You know, I don't know these two
Опять пограничная.
so well, but if I was in Anatoly's shoes, I would ask for an extremely unfair deal
Right.
based on the stacks and probably get rejected.
Ими не читают, очень тяжело.
But that's a good
читать,
thing, you know?
Господь.
Like it's even if you don't get the deal that you want, like you say you want an unfair deal for yourself, right? And then it gets rejected and you continue play. That's actually still good for you
Наверно, вот после такой
because your opponents are going to be a little bit tilted, a little bit angry at you, and
наступает.
they're like, oh, why does he want so much more? Like, is he really that much better? And all this sort of stuff, you know?
And maybe even start questioning themselves, like, oh, I should have taken that deal and get them going. Well, this is interesting board here. It's checking down. Filatov going for a squeaky bit of value on the end.
Oh,
Пас.
yeah.
Выиграть вообще ни копейки.
Kazarian having none of it.
Kazarian with the quick fold.
Хороший. Пас.
Shows him the jack. How's that for a value bet, son?
Что-то как-то все пошло.
And Phil, how does that work?
Две пары блоков.
Obviously, if you offer a deal, and how do you feel about that? When you ask for too much, is that something you would do? Try and get in your opponent's minds?
Yeah, I mean, I probably just try like way too much, you know, at first. So, and because like maybe they take it anyway, and then you get lost, so that's good. And then maybe they send lower, and maybe you're even okay with that deal. And maybe they reject it, and you like waste their time a little bit, and and angle them a little, maybe get them a little on tilt. It's good, no?
Master of the tilt.
Yeah, maybe tell them, say like, you're so bad that like I don't want a deal, but maybe I will look at numbers anyway. Maybe ask them for like something off the table, like if they have a wife or something. What are you talking about, Phil? No, I mean like she could like cook for you or something.
Oh dear. Well, we know Anatoly is no good at cooking. That's something I can tell you. Because he told us about it when we spoke on the Poker Podcast just last week, which you can listen to on iTunes or Spotify and other such locations where you find podcasts. So please do give that a listen if you want to know more about Anatoly. But obviously not right now. We're busy watching him try and take down his home millions, which he said would obviously be a pretty awesome thing to do in that interview.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to be paid out when you're Russian. It's good to be paid out in casino Sochi units,
The casino Sochi unit, the most mysterious currency in the world.
It's not that mysterious. Like, pretty simple scenario. It's a lot like Disneyland dollars, isn't it?
Or Spearmint Rhino dollars, maybe.
What on earth is that?
I don't know. Someone told me about them once. Well, you might have expected Malashev to bust soon after that huge altercation. His ace-king was a rundown. He's doubled once, and he's keeping himself going here. But you've got to feel
Да,
like it can't be long till he's all in again.
Впервые, да?
Хорош.
What, 14, 15, 13 big blinds in his stack.
А?
Что там было? Не посмотрел, потом думаю,
Of
какая
course,
разница?
with the button ante's higher than perhaps usual. It's only half a blind, but still posting 2 blinds in all but guys.
Yeah, I think that when you get to final table, I think you should just switch it back to regular anti-structure. I mean, you only it's only one table, right? So if someone's like not anteing a lot, like it's pretty obvious. Like everyone's
Right.
gonna like sort of
Interesting.
know and ante quickly enough. I don't really see.
Yeah, the focus is on the table once you're into the final table, right? These guys aren't on their phones and paying attention to other things.
Right,
so-
exactly. It's likely to be on stream. There's always a TD nearby, like tournament direction that is. So I don't know. I'm not really in favor of the button ante in final tables, especially when you get down to like you go from 9 or 9 or 8 or 7 all the way down to 4-3 and heads up. Like obviously heads up it doesn't matter because you remove the ante, but when you're 3-handed and you're playing half big blind, that actually works out as being like kind of a big ante. And if you're playing 4-handed with half a big blind, it's kind of it's a little bit less precise,
Right.
the ante size, and it does affect your decisions quite a bit.
It's interesting. First I heard of that.
Yeah, I would also
Point
get
of
rid of the shot clocks on final table. I don't know if they're playing with the shot clock here, but I figure like any tournament where they introduce a shot clock, like you start with that one, and then you get to the bubble, you introduce it, and you keep going with the shot clock. This makes a lot of sense to me, but once you get to final table, like I just get rid of the shot clock. I mean, the decisions are big. No one's like it doesn't affect the rest of the tournament if one table's taking longer than the others because there's only one table. And you know, give him some time, man. Like,
Some valid arguments there, I'd say.
I mean, yeah, I can see time bank chips on the table. I mean,
Yeah, the time clock is in play, has been since one table from the money.
yeah, I mean, imagine you get heads up and you have like one time bank chip left, and someone puts you all in on the river, and you have a
Grand.
marginal bluff catcher, and you've got like a minute to decide for like, you know, $1 million.
Yeah, hundreds of
On the
thousands
line.
of dollars of equity.
48.
We'd have been robbed of that final hand in Rosvadov where Isildur sat there for, I think it was 6 minutes.
Yeah, my buddy is there. I mean, you know, he likes to take time, so it's good for him that there was no shot clock in that tournament.
And we did make the right decision in the end, Phil. I think you had a little swap in that, so worked out well for you.
Yeah, the board always gets the swap.
All the money finds its way to Philbort in the end.
Yeah, but it's good EV for Isildur, you know. I'm obviously much better than him, so... you know, I gave him some coaching, so I helped him, you know. So maybe a good EV for him, because, you know, then he gets the coaching, so that's how it helps him a bit.
You taught him everything he knows, huh?
No, he's better at PLO than me. Yeah.
Well, Malashev down to 10 bigs now on the button. Filatov continue to limp from the small. And now we see Kazarian put a bit of pressure on. And as bad as 3 deuce, he decides to check.
А, я еще не понял.
Удивил бы дважды.
Это
Ace,
мало,
6, 4 flop. Kazarian picks up a gut shot, checks it back. Club rolls off, need to play with 1. And 9 on the river.
You're not going to bluff now?
Девятка.
Девятка твоя.
Значит, кикер, да?
It's kind of a
Тройка.
impressive give up, huh?
2, 3. Лоу зато у тебя. Not slow.
Not slow.
Fortunately,
He
we are
either said
playing
not low, nuts low,
Да,
or
тогда
not
поделили,
slow,
чё?
Нормально,
which would both be true.
Yeah, that was a quick pot.
Чё,
I
готов
say,
был. Сам
I was saying,
без
Jack, to
этого.
Phil earlier, you know, he was saying these guys play quick, and I said, yeah, it's not like when you see a table with the Germans, and they all take 20 seconds to check.
Oh yeah,
with
it's
2 big
brutal,
blind
isn't
pots.
it? It's absolutely brutal. It's like when Phil says he's going to meet you in 5 minutes. And he's like 2 hours later turning up. Yeah, but I always make it, you know, so...
Well, we know
When I
Phil
get there,
obviously-
it's so much better, you know, like the event, you know, much better. Yeah, Phil. We're all like waiting there, bated breath for you to turn up.
Kazarian completes the small. As these 2 roommates bicker. Malashev looks at 10 for offsuit in the big blind.
Это что принято мало еще.
He's taking some time, but I don't quite know why. I can't see how he's going to raise this one.
Чек.
Чуть рука не сгорела.
Ace, Jack, Deuce. Both players check 10 high. Malashev with backdoor flush draw. Jack repeats on the turn. Goes check once more, and
No, I didn't. Oh,
10.
no,
10
that's the
on
worst
the
joke.
river.
That's like the worst joke I've told in several years. I apologize.
And this one will surely go check, and chop.
Nope.
Kazarian is going for some value. Either way, it's chop.
That is reasonable value bet.
Кикер получше-то был.
Одинаково же.
Ну, если бы там не эти картинки не...
Четверка могла открыться, если бы не картинки.
Точно. Никто не спорит, могла.
Ты за кого болеешь, я не понял.
Я? За красивую игру?
За красивую игру.
С кого болеешь?
Нормально ответил? Никого вроде не обидел.
Ну, сейчас, я думаю, точно за меня болеете. Без вопросов. Ну, в данной
Ты уже с
раздаче.
батом на Олимпиш, да?
А, это...
Nice hand for Kazarian here.
Yeah, ace 8 of hearts on the button. Will be raised up. Malashev,
Whoa. Mm.
the small blind with 11 big blinds.
11, button open, 10-8 suited. I think it's probably a shove. Yeah, but also, like, you know, he's not going to fold very much here, so he's not opening every hand, so maybe it's okay.
Alright, yeah, obviously you need a lot of folds there, don't you, Phil, to make that work. You don't want to be called by every hand, and, well, Filatov called with 6-7 suited.
Yeah, I don't know how much Kazarian's actually opening, but I mean, obviously this hand's very strong for the situation, but like he should be opening like a really, really wide range here.
Right,
And
I
like
mean,
10-8 suited should be good enough.
Точно человек, да?
Да, 12 червей.
Хорошо.
Я не видел.
well, there we go. Onjun asks, Phil, give us a good Isildur story. I know, Phil, some of those are, you know, top secret.
Нормально все?
Yeah, very secret with Isildur.
Я тройку поднял.
I met him in Ibiza.
Поменял, да?
We were partying a bit there. That's when, you know, we kind of became friends. But no, he wouldn't want me to test and stuff. So.
Yeah, top secret stories there. Russian gangsters tell all.
But you know, I watched him play as a PLO on the line, and it was pretty
Поменять
eye-opening.
было, походу. Что там? О, хорошая. Томасная.
Покажи фото.
Manashev's jam with Jack 9 gets through.
Ну, можно 7-2, в принципе, так не заморачиваться. Че, хорошую тебе дали, которая светанулась?
Ну как ты думаешь?
Думаю, да. Минимум 7.
Вот хорошо человек покер понимает. Сразу же сказал. Что старше 7 бывает действительно.
Кто хорошо понимает? Правильно?
А, не
Ну,
тяжело.
я же.
Не тяжело понять.
Ну вы тоже немножко понимаете.
И принимает. еще.
I reckon these guys haven't got long left to the end of this level.
Не то, что я сижу, блин.
That means you guys haven't got long left to wait till get your question to win that 109 ticket. This next level will be 4 million, 8 million. Start to really feel the pinch here.
Да?
Of course, remember when we do go heads up, the levels are reduced to half hour. See, depending, you know, as things stands, looks like Malashev, of course, with such a short stack, will be all in soon. And Jack, you'd have to feel if one, you know, whoever out of these other two knocked him out, his current stack would make a huge difference to the heads up, right? I think if Filatov were to be his eliminator, then they'd be pretty even going to heads up, and
Yeah.
Filatov would pull, you know, he'd probably be the favorite, right? They're pretty even, but Kazarian, if he were to do it, he would have such an overwhelming chip lead, and with his super aggressive style,
Yeah, it would be tough. I mean, I think Filatov would still have a reasonable chance, even if it is Kazarian that busts him. But yeah, you'd certainly expect a longer heads-up match if it is. Anatoly that busts him.
Времени мало дает.
Malashev This one,
Пограничный.
managed to jam, you would think.
But it's
11
only
bigs.
it's only 10
Ah,
extra
вот
big
так вот,
blinds,
да?
so not the biggest difference.
Right.
Сейчас, да. Пограничная?
But of course, you know, the swing is 20 big
Лучше
blinds
пограничная.
for the heads-up battle.
Well, Chef continuing to survive. Like I say, he has dodged a few bullets when it comes to his elimination.
Разбуди, когда останутся двое.
Huge one earlier against Filatov when he flopped a double gut shot draw and flush draw. So Filatov had flopped the straight. Found the spade on the river. Of course, it looks like he was desperately unlucky not to take it heads up himself. And his ace king fell to
Да,
Я не против. если честно.
Kazarian's queen jack all in pre-flop. And jack with 8-4
Большой
suited
блайнд
here on the
выберется,
button.
человек стоит.
How wide are we jamming?
Not this wide.
Интересно. Пас.
8-6 suited is like probably close. 8-7 suited clear jam. But 8-4 suited, no way. And I like this. Yeah, I mean, you just have to fold, and there's no other option. Anatoly continuing with the pure limp strategy. Ace King off is like the primo raise hand. It's like the ultimate hand you want to raise. So
Right. If you limp in this one, then
if you limp this, you limp everything pretty much.
Бет 8.
There, you can have a strategy where you have other raises, but no, he's limping 100% of the hands he plays.
Kazarian doesn't put a chip in the pot after the flop. Filatov did, of course, flop top pair. And is that save in a spot there? If Kazarian were to raise with Filatov, just limp jam for all 40 bigs, just to take
Yeah.
it down. Doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't know actually. You'd have to ask Anatoly, I think. I'd be inclined to just call myself, but for sure some merits to just shoving it in there as well. Because Aaron pretty clear shove here.
Говоришь, что будете спать. Ну,
Does.
какой-то,
Rip
это
it in from the small.
Не похоже на сон.
Подкралась.
Ah,
wow.
And we're going to see 5 cards here.
Что?
So just thinking
Так,
things through.
можно.
So you might expect to see a huge decision.
Yeah.
Huge money. But he knows, I think he's one of these. He knows he's going to call. He just wants to take his time and make sure.
I mean, I think you could call this a borderline slow roll. It's like King 10 off is just so clearly a call here. It's okay.
Wow.
Not really
Bit-
sure the.
Like earlier, we saw him make a very tight fold with 13 bigs and the big with ace-5 against Filatov's cut-up open. 3-bet jam spot. This time, elects not to call it off from the big. And as Jack pointed out, see, so far ahead of the small blind jamming range. Just got to call it off there. Take a chance over 5 cards. So we can see he was in great shape had he made the call.
Yeah, you just don't get enough opportunities to really fold there. I don't think the ICM situation is like, you know, almost. I mean, Filatov has over 40 big blinds, right? So
Yeah, so there's no.
and he's playing tight, you know, well not tight, but he's playing conservatively. So he's not busting out anytime soon, realistically. And with 10 big blinds, like King 10 off is just so good.
Kazarian then.
Kazarian
King
should
the
be
button.
shoving like King Deuce off, right? So just with the rage he has, like King 10 is just way too strong.
Speaking of King Deuce, that's what he has here. Look at this board. 2 kings on board, both have one. Filatov's kicker is playing. Kazarian checks back the flop, just calls the turn. I swear this guy's got some sort of spidey sense.
Yeah, check back is also okay with the King Deuce, the worst king you can have. So I like the check back.
Kind of surprising when we've seen him bet so many boards.
Yeah.
With second pair, multiple streets. So the check back was pretty surprising from Kazarian. Now, just has to call. Can't really raise when the spades come off. And, well, loses the absolute minimum in this one.
Yeah.
A genius. Kazarian. I think you should show,
Well-
should show the king here, get him tilted.
Had he bet the flop,
Не,
he
ну
probably
куда
bets
выходить?
turn.
Гараж, что это?
And then, I don't know if he bets the river. It's kind of,
Я
I mean,
тоже
he
не
didn't seem very happy about calling.
знаю, это-
We
Выкинуть
king
короля
goose
это
there.
прям
It's
жестко.
possible
just
he shows
knows.
it down. So maybe he loses the same amount regardless.
Somehow he just knows.
Maybe Anatoly check raises the turn though. Possible.
Glenn says he's grinding on party poker whilst being entertained by the three of us. Great job, keep it up. Well, appreciate that, Glenn. It's pretty fun watching this final. Obviously, every final is different. This one, it's just cool with the difference. Kazarian.
Yeah, very different is the Russians, you know. Their plays are unusual, you know. That's exactly right, Phil.
Fedotov will, of course, continue to limp in the small ace, jack of diamonds. And Kazarian checks his option with Queen 4.
Yeah, we got a surprise for you guys.
We got a surprise. Oh, is it the real 4 bots arrived?
Когда у меня этот, нац.
Oh, we had
Yeah,
some
we-
imitations going on, I can tell.
Yeah, but no one else could.
Хорош.
Hello,
I'm afraid we've been conning you for the last
Ну, честно говоря, сейчас
half
была
an
очень
hour.
пограничная.
Yeah,
Ну,
yeah.
Yeah,
когда
Phil
ты
Phil
полез,
big time the
Я
stream.
мог запустить.
Guys, when they make
Вот.
jokes about you, they're jealous.
Пуш.
You know?
Что за дела?
Small difference, yeah.
So what's going on here?
Пограничная, близко.
Still three-handed.
Король 6.
Yeah, still three-handed.
Бля, по-моему, ты назвал
Filatov
точно
Ruler
мало.
still looks fit, man. This guy is in good shape, man.
Mm.
Мне очень дорого большой, можешь уже мало я?
Now, Kazarian gives another walk. This time 8-4 offsuit. Well, Jack, you wouldn't. If he knew his opponent's folding King 10, I don't think you'd give him a walk with any hand, right?
No, what did he give him a walk with there?
8-4 off.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. But he did give him a walk with 10-4 suited earlier. So he is playing pretty tight out of the small blind.
Оживился, выиграл банк,
Кто?
смотри. Да кто? Ну кто? Не я же.
Ну я выиграл-то небольшой банк. Чё мне оживляться?
Заговорил сразу, ты посмотри на него. Что ты не
Я и так, в принципе,
пушишь?
могу поговорить.
Да, видел
Просто
я
в
как
туалет очень хочу,
Да.
понимаешь, уже
He
минут 40.
continues
видел,
я осталось шесть.
three-handed.
один прекрасный момент, ты не
That's
то,
been
что не
quite a while
ответил
now.
на мой вопрос,
It's
а
amazing
просто
how quickly we got from
отказался
11 players at the
Да,
start of the
а
day
чё спросил?
down to 5.
Смотрел
The
я
average
карту,
stack was so
поэтому-
deep,
Я
the
не
stakes
смотрел.
so high.
Минут.
Not
А,
surprising.
писать хотел, боялся слово проронить.
How much does Filatov have?
А, мы сейчас в эфире, да?
So he's got like 250
Но
or
он же
so.
не сматерился.
So
Да, вот
Kazarian
Maybe a
in
bit
the
more.
driver's
По
seat
результатам я
again.
бы, конечно, вот это по поводу
The bully.
наклейки этой...
Ну, тебе на меня жаловаться.
Look how
No, she
relaxed
was
they are
enjoying.
now, huh? So you see, like when you play high stakes for a while, you know, you get more and more relaxed.
Всё,
And it's just within one
Как
final
хочешь,
day,
да.
but he's
Ой,
super
блин.
relaxed,
Всё еще здесь.
Да.
chilling out.
Я думаю только о том, как добежать побыстрее.
Ну, тогда не,
Yeah,
давайте не
Filatov
будем
never looks
А
never
какая
looks
разница,
too
всё равно
anxious or
осталось.
anything.
Oh,
Eight,
my favorite dealer coming again, guys, Christina.
Christina back in the mix.
What's favourite dealer? She's got the maximum rating.
I thought
No, no,
Gregory had
ye-
the maximum one.
Yeah, no, Gary has the highest rating, you know.
Oh, I see. Okay, so she's your favorite for some sort of other reason.
Okay.
Yeah, like some reason I don't know. Man.
Well, here is the chip
All right,
count.
like let's see. Chat, can we guess Philbot's reason?
Malashev is the shortest with 11 bigs. Filatov with 4 times that amount. Just trying to get to heads up. Well, he hopes to overcome Kazarian's chip lead. Can't put it past Malashev yet. He has come back from further back than this.
Нет, это просто так, как есть. Посмотрим сейчас. Плохо кому-то будет, кому-то
He
хорошо.
has the button for this hand.
Нельзя сделать, чтобы всем было хорошо. Можно, да?
He looks at king of 5 off. A jam, guys?
Nope.
And he does fold.
Интересное такое, так сказать, замечание.
I think you need king 7 off there, maybe king 8.
Even with the big antes.
Yeah, I mean, well, half a big blind means like if it was 1/6, then there's 3 of them, so it'd be 3/6, so that would be a half. So it's a six. It's effectively as if they're all paying a sixth of a big blind, which is like an average size ante. So it's actually not that small. I think I said earlier that it was small, but I said earlier it was big, but it's average actually. 4-handed, it's really it's small.
Oh, now we might have some action. So
Filatov continuing just to...
he got bluffed. No.
Yeah, we've seen this a couple of times, Phil, when the fake Philbot was in here. Kazarian putting pressure on Filatov with the ICM implications. Filatov just not really willing to make too many marginal decisions with weak hands.
I get very confused by the chips at this stage in the tournament because the grey ones are the strongest.
The grey
biggest,
are 5 million.
which is very confusing for me. Because why? I mean, the gold ones surely. should
Gold,
be
you're
the-
looking for gold, right?
gold
Looks
should
like
be the
silver and
biggest.
gold.
The grey is like, you know,
How much are the yellow ones?
the yellows are 5 million, right?
The yellows are 1 million, greys are 5 million,
Oh, greys are 5. Okay, I thought they were 25 something. Although, yeah, that would make no sense.
and the reds at 500k. Come on, guys, you've been deep in these events before.
It's not for a while.
I never had one of these 5 million chips.
Yeah, I've never had a 5 million either.
Maybe.
Why are we doing commentary? We don't have a clue what we're doing. I've had some of the gold chips before. When they get introduced, it's very annoying because you end up having like 2 gold chips and a bunch of pinks, and the golds are worth double a pink. So they're just kind of like they're just sort of in the stack, like,
Yeah, how can I help you?
yeah, right. They don't add that much when they first get introduced. They mean, you know, they're obviously pretty important by this point in the tournament, but when you get 1 at the start and then you're like, wow, I could just have 2 pinks here in this space. You know, I've got like less than 20 million total.
Malashev jams, and well, Filatov,
That might be a call here, huh?
king 8 in the big blind.
Yeah, this is just pretty close.
А то народ разбежался, ты спросил сколько.
Malashev should be shoving any king and a bunch of queens as well.
77 500.
Might limp the strongest stuff.
Filatov getting a count. Obviously, doesn't want to offer a cheap double up.
Shot clock still on, right?
Shot clock is on.
$1 million on the clock.
He does call, and he'll find out what great shape he's in. His king 8 ahead of Malashev's king 7.
Trying to hold the big smile in there.
Король 7, король 8.
Managed it.
This is not how you draw it up, king 8 versus king 7, but it's just as good as ace king versus ace queen. Let's see if he can hold. Well, almost as good. Lots of opportunities in this one. Jack 10, deuce. Malashev needs that 7. He would take a high card though. 9 it is. He switches some outs.
Назревает. Тройка нужна, пятерка, да?
Not a split chance here.
Понятно.
But the 5 of hearts on the river. One card Malashev didn't want to see, and we will lose him in 3rd place. Came into the day as your chip leader.
Поздравляю.
Went on a late night spurt last
Played
night,
very aggressive, like gave some action.
but he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times 3-betting Kazarian, not always with the desired result. See there, he leads with 445 1,000.
Перерыв уже.
Перерыв. Да.
And with that, as always, there will be a very brief break before heads-up play gets underway. In fact, I've been told that was actually the last hand of the level, coincidentally. So we are going to take our schedule break, and I was going to ask you a question to win our 109 ticket, and that is, how many entries were there in this tournament? Not a difficult one. You guys can easily find this answer, so please do post in the mypartypokerlive.com chat, along with your Party Poker Real Money account username. How many entries did this tournament have?
Yeah, but if you don't know, you have to guess.
Okay, yeah,
That's
you
one
can't
of the
check.
rules.
Jack's
yeah,
rule.
Don't worry, we know. We know if you've looked it up because you'll give the right answer.
So
right answers are disqualified. You have to guess.
well, nearest guess or nearest correct answer. Either way, we'll choose some of the correct answers after the break. So please don't go anywhere. Where we finally get to see this heads-up battle between Anatoly Filatov and Igor Kazarian.
Welcome to Party Poker Live Millions Russia event.
You don't swing with the floor too tight in the back. Yo, deep Peters, does it ring? Take a break from the game, cause you have a new name. Down swing Peters, no more heaters.
Crazy early action here at Casino Sochi.
Final day of Millions Russia.
Let me just say,
Russia's the best!
we had a good time.
Has got the King of Hearts.
Серебренький, конечно.
Could pick a heart
Можно
out
и 9 тогда.
on the
Нет,
turn.
10 именно.
So Queen or a heart he's
Потом
looking for.
двоечку буду. Как ты любишь.
And here we go. And there's the queen.
Oh,
See what I mean? Sometimes you make
it's a brutal
the
game.
wrong play at the right time, and it all works out for you. Uspensky not out of it yet. Ace or a 10. 10 for a straight.
Костя сейчас хитрый по запрещенным приемам.
Can he hit the ace or the 10 to survive?
It's so brutal, isn't it?
It is a brutal game, but
sometimes.
That's why we love it.
Boom. Oh, nearly.
2 pair for Filatov.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, well, Uspensky, you did nothing wrong, and it's been great watching you play this week. Well done on your 3rd place in the Triton High Roller, and now 8th place in Millions Russia. Fantastic achievement to a player that will be winning tournaments for sure.
He definitely didn't like that call. I kind of agree with him in a way, but
I think he was also a little bit frustrated with himself for calling off the 12 million. You know, we both know the dynamics of has to call. Unfortunately, he's going to have to get lucky, but it could happen. You know, he could have mistimed his 3-bet and then be forced into making a call against the shortest stack and get lucky. And it could be a key hand for him. So let's see if he does. If not, Uspensky's patience will have paid off, and he will win a 71 million pot.
Which would be handy for him. He's been very patient so far.
Good players, both of these. Filatov with King Queen. Uspensky with Ace King wants to see a door card of a Queen, not there.
Now he goes down to 17%.
He has got the King of Hearts. Could pick a heart out on the turn. So Queen or a heart he's looking for. Here we go. And there's the Queen.
Oh,
see what I mean? Sometimes you make
it's a brutal game.
The wrong play at the right time, and it all works out for you. Uspensky not out of it yet. Ace or a 10. 10 for a straight. Can he hit the ace or the 10 to survive?
It's so brutal, isn't it?
It is a brutal game, but
sometimes.
That's why we love it.
Boom. Oh, nearly.
2 pair for Filatov.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, well, Uspensky, you did nothing wrong, and it's been great watching you play this week. Well done on your 3rd place in the Triton High Roller, and now 8th place in Millions Russia. Fantastic achievement to
folding.
Unless he's interested in laddering, and because there's 2 other short stacks.
No, that's why he folds.
He might fold because of the money implications.
Yeah. I think he folds because of ICM, no other reason.
He could also be thinking, if I call and win this, I'm 2nd chip leader. Massive difference.
I call because I'm more of a gambler, I suppose, and I would never.
And he has called.
Yeah.
Mr. T got it right again.
All right, smart ass.
But he's still got to win it. So this is the key hand for both players at this stage of the tournament, because this makes a massive difference to Malyshev if he wins this.
I think Malyshev wins this.
He will be up to 180 million, 2nd chip leader. So, Melnikov, pocket 9s. Malyshev, ace, queen of spades. You just feel he's going to get paid off here for having the balls to call.
Uh-oh.
Pretty safe flop for Melnikov.
Not a good flop.
Aces, queens, running spades. Malyshev feels a bit sick in his throat.
Yeah, but see if he can do an Anatoly. Spade on the turn would be interesting. Nope. Still same number of outs. Goes down to 14%. 1 card to come, 6 outs.
Melnikov holding his breath. No ace, no green. No ace, no green.
Barry Greenstein. Boom.
And he saves Jack on the river, and
nice.
Melnikov doubles up. I don't blame Malyshev for calling with the ace queen there. He's took a shot to try and win the tournament, and I think he's down to 2nd shortest stack now. And
we're on a break.
The last hand before the break. Hopefully they're going to bring the chip counts up. We can just see how much that has changed things.
Double 170 million chip pot would see him get right back in contention, but he is just 28% to do that. Tremzin and Malashev rotating on Filatov here for the ladder up. Filatov, if he were to hold, would be right at with Hodorenko in terms of chips. Change the dynamic of this final table considerably. Well, Queen, Jack, 10. Queen, a little bit of hope for Galitsky, but you can see an ace no longer good. He needs a queen or king. Still alive, going to the river. Queen or king, otherwise Galitsky will leave in 7th place. Jack on the river. That is it for Galitsky. 3 pots in a row. Here's Vanquisher. Anatoly Filatov up to 240 million. Well, he's waiting to bid Galitsky farewell. To expect from a class act like Filatov and Galitsky. No bad blood. Does pick up 100. All in. So there is a tiny side pot brewing between Malashev and Hodorenko. Although, does it like Malashev has slightly more than the graphic says, maybe 1.5 million back as opposed to 800,000. But it will all be going in. You won't like the flop. 101 million chips in the pot. Malashev has checked to Hodorenko, who has put it in for the rest. Well, we'll be enjoying how long Malashev is tanking for here. I think he's just getting perhaps confirmation that if he busts Tremzin, will be the 6th place finisher, him the 5th. Does, of course, cool it off.
Блефовал, да? Блефовал, да. Скрыли.
Seems to be the theme in Russia. No one's quick to turn their cards over. So Tremzin, looking like our 6th place finisher here, will need to catch a 4. Malashev just needs to avoid a 4 or an 8. But if Hodorenko were to catch one of those 8s, we would all of a sudden be down to 4-handed play on our millions final table. 7 on the turn changes nothing. Tremzin needs the 4. Hodorenko the 8. There's a 5. Malashev will hold and triple up, getting himself back above the 100 million chip mark. Did come into the day as the chip leader. Gleb Tremzin, your 6th place finisher. Nothing he could do there. Easy jam. Picks up 140,000 for his efforts.
Сбоку прилетело.
Not the queen of clubs.
And then he's going to do the same and hope that he sees the 9 of spades and not the 9 of clubs.
Несправедливая игра покера. Зато мы ее и любим. Интересно.
Well, deciding then, Ludo, whether to c-bet or check this. 138 behind, 50 in the pot. Obviously, these pots at this stage, everything's just tournament defining, isn't it? You make one misstep here, you really hurt your chances of taking down the title. At the same time, you want to maximise every opportunity. A hand like Queens wants to win chips.
I would probably bet it. I'm saying, like, because you can still get value off a like Ace-10, Ace-Jack. He blocks like Ace-Queen, he blocks King-Queen. Obviously, he blocks like Jack-Queen and 10 Queen suited. And he can get called off of like a pair of eights with the 8 of spades or something. I don't know, like something along the lines.
He bet 16. Kazarian calls of ace 9 high, and well, a spade on the turn. Surely part of Kazarian's flatting strategy here is to take it away on a card like this.
Yeah, it's going to look good, and it's going to, in the sense of like, it's unfortunate that it's ran out as bad as this. It's most likely going to go check, and then at some point, Kazarian is going to try and bluff at it.
Right.
Не добавляются, да, время?
Кстати, реально таймаут что не добавляют? Нет. Серьезно? Да. Жестенько работаете.
Что, мы продолжаем. Блайнды 4-8. Удачи, господа.
Еще тебе нужно закидывать все время их в банк, что ли? Весело. Могли с краешку так сесть каждый.
Чек. Чек. Восемь.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are already underway, heads up. Here, Anatoly Filatov, the underdog chip-wise in this match. Kazarian holds that rather sizable chip lead, but lots of play here. And of course, we are down to 30-minute levels in heads-up play, as always.
Game, guys. Back in the game.
Phil back in the game.
And this is the real Phil Bort again this time, not the...
Phil not able to press.
Let's see if the bully keeps. Oh, is it on?
We've got you on there now. We pressed it for you there, Phil.
Oh,
you know.
guys, I was making jokes here and was not on air. It was so funny.
That sounds more like me impersonating you than actual you.
Okay, so the bully keeps bullying. Raise 20. Okay, that's.
No, this is a limp call, right?
Yeah, I think so. Filatov's raised after a limp.
So not that much of a bully style here with the king 10 off. Would expect a raise normally.
What happened?
I think he limped the button and Filatov raised. And he called.
20k?
20 million.
20 million.
Because big blind's, what is it?
Big blind is now 8 million.
So it's a bit smaller.
Very small raise.
Oh, Tarzan!
Yeah.
Oh, no. Kazarian.
Kazarian, yeah. Kazarian.
Keeps bullying.
Limp call, raise, flop, real small. It's pretty interesting.
This could be the end of the match, guys.
Phil's calling it right at the start.
I mean, Filatov's hand kind of plays itself now. He just has to play defensively, check call.
140 million chips.
But this hand isn't played so.
No. King
I
10.
would give up here. No, but we've seen things.
Just check
He-
back.
With 4 left, he Kazarian open raise king at offsuit from the cutoff, gets the 3-bet from the button, and jams king at offsuit for 50
No.
big blinds.
Yep.
This guy has some serious.
James told me.
He's got heart. The guy has got heart, but he will lose that one. And look at that. With the first hand, Filatov now has the slightest of leads. Yeah, amazing. And now, guys, before the break, I asked you a question. The question was, how many entries were there in this Party Poker Live Millions Russia main event?
Without guessing. I mean, without looking it up.
Jack said you weren't allowed to look. I see there are some deliberate wrong answers in here. Most people put 916, but their wrong answer being 915. You know, no one went 917.
No, 915 is total fish move. We know you looked it up and then just guessed one off because you wanted to win but not get the right answer. That's just, I mean, that's unacceptable
What can
in
they
my
win?
opinion. 914 clearly the right answer.
What's there to win?
We're giving a 109 ticket away. The answer, of course, was 916. And the winner has been chosen. As Filatov limp folds, I can tell you.
Let's ask
If I
some
look
other
here.
question too. Like Johnny Lawden things, you know.
A lot of things. Could do a commentary a lot of things.
Well, I can tell you that the winner of the 109 ticket, in between these guys deciding how next to gamble, is Christopher Ellingson. Username Rough Rider Fan. You are the winner of that 109 ticket.
When is the...
That will be credited to your account within the next 72 hours. So congratulations. Good luck spinning that up.
3 days.
Within. It's like, you know, when you order food,
I wasn't
delivery, and they say, oh, it might take up to half an hour, and then it turns up after 10 minutes, and you're really happy.
What a setup here.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Here we go. And Kazarian limps in once more. Filatov raises. And well, this could be it
guys.
straight away.
This
Look at the
is-
stack sizes.
This is it.
Oh, no, he's
Call?
just called.
Oh my god, what?
The limp call?
Oh, wow, guys.
Kazarian with the with
They
the
had
reads.
exactly the same stack.
That's sick.
It could have been over quick as.
Yeah, I was gonna say I expect Filatov to check here. Just check call. It's pretty.
This is pretty incredible. Kazarian did not raise the button or even 3-bet after Filatov raises from the big.
See, my friend Fergus just got in the mix with the guess. Nice try. Little late. We've already announced the winner. Get the hell out of here, Fergus.
9 on the turn. Filatov checks once more, and the board looking pretty scary for him.
With a big old bet.
The old 100.
Что, 2 дамы? С король.
And that could have been it. If he 3-bet
Могли закончить сейчас турнир.
Yeah.
big there pre-flop, that could have been the tournament over there and then.
Непонятно, правда, как закончили.
Filatov just saying thanks.
Yeah, that is...
Spasiba.
Okay, question. How often is the bully gonna make the best hand fold?
Ah, that's a good game.
How
From
many
now
times
on
is he
till
gonna
till
bluff
the end?
Filatov?
Yeah,
Between
from the
now
best
and
hand.
the
From the,
tournament?
he has to bluff the best hand of the
Okay.
pot.
And they're
And
gonna guess.
I give away $109 ticket.
Наверное.
Okay.
Go, alright.
Okay, guys,
But we're doing
$109
it.
ticket.
We're doing it London thing style, right? So who's the London? Dempsey?
No, we count it, no?
Oh god, there's no way we're gonna manage that.
Can we have someone count it?
Yeah, we'll give away a $109 ticket to whoever is willing to count it, and then another 109 for whoever guesses the correct answer. But you have to guess it now, right?
Yeah, you have to guess now, and then
we maybe count, maybe don't, maybe go back over it. So it's going to be a lot longer than 72 hours for you to get paid on this one. But okay, guys, we start the clock.
yeah, but then they can start sweating, you know? Like, Johnny Lund makes no sense, you know?
Well, it makes one...
Let's write it down.
It makes sense in the fact that we'd actually like get a winner.
Well...
Yeah, the actual number doesn't count, but we try to take account of our count of the number counts. Okay.
The value bet that was from Kazarian there, betting two pair on
Okay,
the four
guys.
spade board.
Joke aside. So post in the Party Poker live chat how many times Kazarian is gonna bluff off Filatov from the best hand.
Okay, there we go. So anytime he bets when he's behind and Filatov folds, that counts.
Post flop.
Post flop. Okay, there we go. Anytime he bets the inferior hand post flop and gets Filatov to fold,
$109 out of my pocket, guys.
Phil Ball is going to hand over 109 of his own hard-earned dollars.
And you'll receive it within 72 days.
Yeah, I slow pay people.
Slow pay.
I guess we'll give you guys 10 minutes to enter this, because otherwise someone will post an answer just at the end of the heads up.
Yeah, okay, 10 minutes,
10 minutes.
deadline.
And what, we start the count after the 10 minutes?
Yeah.
No,
we can't.
No, we
start
count
count
now.
now. Okay, so you've got a little head start.
Yeah.
All right, I'm setting a 10-minute timer.
Okay, we got the official. Jack's here as an official timekeeper.
All right, guys, you got 10 minutes now.
Yeah, and our guess here. We make a side bet, guys.
Yeah. How much? 109?
We're just trying to get
More,
even.
more.
More?
1K.
Dempsey?
I feel like Phil's got an edge here somehow.
No, we do $100 is easy.
$100.
$100.
$100 three-way.
Well, whilst we write down our guesses, we see Igor Kazarian there, 67 big blinds, dominating Anatoly Filatov's 47 bigs. But how different it could have been if he had 3-bet queens pre-flop. This match might already be over.
We got to write down our guesses separately though, so we don't get affected by each other's. Agreed?
Yeah.
But if two of us guess the same amount, then I guess we become a team, right? Or we can do it under over.
Okay, I have my number. Write down your number.
Let me just see what happens in this pot first. And Filatov bets his 3-4-5 board. Kazarian calls with the same gut shot drawn 10 high. Checks turn. Filatov picks up hearts, so we'll fire barrel number 2 here. It looks like he's going big. 35 into 40 is what he got in the hand. Here's the bet. Kazarian surely will now fold.
Yeah, you want to do 1K extra?
I'll go to 200.
Okay, so
I'm
the
in
three
debt,
of us,
bro.
have we
This
got
is-
our
it's
answers?
not been a good trip for
Have
me.
we got our answers written down?
Yeah.
Wait, no, I just I scrapped mine.
Oh, all right. You had to look at me, write mine down. Had a good little eye in
and keep
then
in mind,
decided-
it's the bully also.
The bully.
They call him the bully.
Before it's over. And how many?
Remember, guys, you
how many
can-
big blinds do they have now?
50. Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing 50 effective.
I want to lower my number.
Everyone's changing their numbers. If you're lowering mine, I feel like I want to lower mine.
So here we have its first
Mind
hand.
games.
Here's the best hand.
Oh, Kazarian has
Okay,
the best hand here.
we all have our guesses ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dempsey? All right,
My
show
guess is ready. All right, Jack,
show
what do you got?
This number.
Jack's gone 10.
No, you can't say it for the chat.
Yeah, we can
The
say
timer's
it.
still on.
That'd be okay. They're playing
Yeah,
a different
and,
one.
and by the way, dear viewers,
We have the same number?
Jack and me have the same number, 10.
You won't believe what I've got.
Dempsey with the 11. Okay, so
That's kind of stupid.
That's pretty funny. So.
I'll go 9 then. It's fine.
Well, you guys get to chop if you you get to chop up my 100.
Yeah, it's not fair if we change it now. Because if we have...
Yeah, okay, fine. But we both get all numbers 10 and down, right?
James can't
Yeah,
win.
it's-
If we take 12, then James is...
I'm happy with the situation.
Yeah,
if it's 11 or more, I win.
yeah.
If it's 10 or less, you guys chop me up.
It's true.
Okay.
That's obviously why I
okay,
wanted 9,
and
right?
we bet another 200 for... what do you want to take, over or under?
Under.
Ah, okay, I believe in the bully.
Okay.
Okay, 200 and I'm over.
So Phil's basically arbing. He's got both sides of the bet.
Oh, yeah.
You're running pretty...
Oh,
you're in a good spot,
man.
actually.
What a
He's
gamble.
engineered some game where he can gamble. Yeah. But he's,
But no, it's still good for me, right? Because if it's 10 or under, I win, right?
Yeah. You have good position.
But if it's 10 or over, you win.
Yeah, but I only win 100.
If it's over 10, you win 100. And if it's under 11, I win
Yeah.
100 or 300.
Well, Kazarian bets this time, but doesn't make a better hand fold. It's
Хороший
straight.
блаф.
It's plus EV for both of us. We got James real good. Wrecked.
Getting carved up.
Anyway,
You have how many minutes they got left to enter, Jack? By your timepiece.
guys, we're down to 5 minutes here.
Okay, you guys got 5 minutes more to enter.
And the count is 0. But it's heads up, guys. You know, there's a lot of
And guys,
hands going on where nobody has anything.
I think I've gone way too high.
Guys, put your screen name in with your guesses as well, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
how's Phil going to pay you?
Phil needs a screen name to pay you. Plenty of guesses coming in. Of course, it will be closest to.
Sure. Sure.
I made this bet. I put how many hands I played lifetime, like I guessed, Johnny Lawden style, and I think 3 people hit one guy exactly, the other guy +1, the other guy plus like 5,000 or something, and then 3 other guys like super close.
Wow.
Like insanely close. Like.
Fidotov pays this one off with ace high. Kazarian has bottom pair.
It's going to be hard to bluff this guy. Certainly 11 times. It's going to be real tough. So have we started counting or what? Like,
Well,
Dempsey, you're going to have to count.
I have started counting, but I'm not feeling too good about 11 given we're at 0.
We're still at 0, yeah?
Yeah, we are at 0.
Okay.
You guys have got me so good.
It's almost as if we planned it.
I'd love to switch to 9
Yeah,
instead of 11.
you're betting money with a professional gambler, you know, like. Anti-boxing match with Floyd Mayweather, you know.
Well, Filatov limps in. Kazarian will raise with 8.
Filatov limping 4 deuce off. It's pretty loose, in my opinion. My humble opinion.
Yeah, but heads up if you have an edge, it's all doable.
Yeah, but 4 deuce. It's pretty shit. Pretty bad hand.
It's very easy to not raise enough also.
Look at that, boys. That is the trophy. Party Poker Millions Russia champion. Oh, they're pretty heavy.
That's a big one. That's your big boy.
The problem is I gotta go, guys.
Yeah, Phil and I have some a strategic meeting to go to. No spoilers, but we're working on something big.
I'll let you boys know how you get on in the bet.
A new rap song, guys, is coming up.
Look at this.
I just said no spoilers, and you just got like
Kazarian.
throw that out there immediately.
Kazarian guys top 2. Filatov check raises with his straight draw, and a tiny check raise, just 10 million more.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I guess he thinks Kazarian's going to be just betting pure air here a lot and can fold. And he doesn't want to...
Look at this, straight back over the top.
And then when he gets put in this situation, he wants a smaller pot, you know. Kind of hard for him to fold here, like getting...
32.
He's got to call 32 to win 84. It's pretty much got a call.
For clean outs, yeah, for sure he got a call.
And of course,
Kazarian can be bluffing. And also Kazarian can check back the turn with some strong hands. He played like really weird sometimes.
Well, the other straight draw gets there, 5-7. 116 in the pot. Does Kazarian just keep up the aggression? No, he checks back.
As I said.
Wow, and makes a full house on the river. Does Filatov now have to bluff, do you think?
I think Filatov should bluff small here, like in case Kazarian has like some sort of flush draw or so.
Yeah, there's no need to bet big here, in my opinion.
He does. Bets 40. And Kazarian, let's see how it acts.
Yeah, it's like roughly third pot, but it still like looks kind of big, so I like the sizing.
The dream scenario for Kazarian.
Kazarian probably not going to fold this hand.
Sat there. Expert analysis from Jack Sinclair. He's decided Kazarian's not going to fold. 6 is full. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he might raise it.
Yeah, makes sense to raise. Anatoly can for sure have a worse boat.
And Kazarian does 3x. Filatov wastes no time in folding. And unfortunately for those of us who have high numbers, Kazarian never seems to have the worst hand.
And yeah, Russia is the nation of the calling station, you know.
Coming to all good record shops near you, right? The new Philbort tune coming out soon.
Yeah, Russia, the nation of the calling station. So yeah, maybe your numbers are a bit too high, guys. What's like what are they saying? Like
We've got all sorts of guesses here. See, 9, 3,
anyone over
8,
20?
7, 12. We've got a couple of 18s. 11s.
18?
We've got a 20, a 22.
I saw the 22 earlier. I thought they were just trolling.
4 and 8.
I thought they were just saying 2 twice.
I
You
see
know?
someone here's got 0.
0.
It's kind of a smart one.
That's ballsy.
In case it finished straight away, you know, the heads-up match could have ended straight. It could still end. It's still on 0.
Yeah.
If you were to end now.
No one's gonna guess 1 either, so you're probably likely to chop if someone bluffs once.
So how much time?
We're down to less than 1 minute, guys. 20 seconds.
Last minute.
20 seconds, guys. Get those guesses in.
Well, Filatov turns Broadway. Kazarian. Not
Again,
putting a chip in the pot.
Again, no bluff.
No bluff. I'm not feeling great.
Okay, guys, but it's not only about the bet, yeah. It's also $1 million on the line here.
Okay, I've already pulled $100 out of my wallet. It's on the
Guys,
table.
you hear the sound.
No, that is
timer. Nice little bit of guitar music to let you know the
Yeah, right
guesses
now
are
that the
not
time
in.
is over.
Time over, guys. That is the last guess was Fang Guo.
Yeah, well, we're actually going to give these guys a few more seconds purely because they are on a slight delay from us. So
all right,
I'm going to watch the stream and see when we get to this point. Just to be fair.
It's good to be fair. So Kazarian limping in with 6-4 off. For the top, pretty easy raise here. It's now suited.
He raises very small from the big blind.
Yeah, not something I do very often.
Maybe it makes sense if the guy is limping like only the trashy hands like this and strong hands and raises the middle hand. Then it might make sense to raise more.
Kazarian
And
does cool
also
6-4.
6-4 off.
All right, I think the number 1 is coming.
Well, maybe not. Ace, King, Deuce.
I mean, Filatov does still have the strongest hand, so he can
Still
be bluffed.
eligible for the bluff. He does have the 6 of spades.
I mean, what else are you going to do with this hand? I mean, you got here.
I mean, he has backdoor everything.
He looks away and does let it go.
Wise decision. Yeah, the guy has a good feel. For
Yeah,
the game.
that's true.
And can tell he played a lot of poker in his life. Oh. This might be fireworks.
Okay, well.
I mean,
we saw Queen
these
versus Ace
guys,
Kings. Nothing happened.
If this doesn't go in, I don't know. Oh my god.
Again.
Wow. How does he know?
How does he do that?
Second time we've had a setup
Guys,
flip pre-flop and it hasn't gone in.
That is just not good. It's just so much value there to be had.
Kazarian is, of course, going to call with his ace high on this board. Hard to think how this didn't go in pre, just like the Queens versus Ace Kings. Filatov quickly
And
checks back.
Quickly check. That's also like super weird check. Outs are not good. 10 is very
This river
easy
card.
to be outdrawn. And
Kazarian not going to bluff. And now Filatov decides to bet his 10s.
this is a check raise candidate, guys. Not so bad.
Yeah, he has a club. Ace is like sort of useful, but not that much.
Maybe bluffs ace 3.
Нужен кол.
Has no diamond.
Упал?
Я говорю, нужен кол.
Don't think he's gonna raise.
Is he all in?
After saying that, I don't think he's gonna raise.
Все?
He even shows the Queen of Clubs to be like, look, I could have raised.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, guys. We're taking off here. Heading back to Malta soon. James.
Back to the sunshine. Back to relaxation, back to
yeah, guys,
preparing
it was
ourselves.
a hell of a trip, like super crazy experience. Check out Sochi if you can come next time. Otherwise, maybe Bahamas. See you guys there. Or on the online tables during the Power Fest. Yeah, thanks for watching, listening.
Yeah, it's been
And,
good fun here. Lots, yeah, Sochi's a good trip. One of the better ones, I think.
And don't forget, guys, if you want to hear more from Phil, his podcast is released on Wednesday. Poker podcast available on Spotify and iTunes.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Jack will get you in there sometime soon.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Find all about the man who once came 8th in a tournament. Everyone wants to hear about those guys.
Yeah, they are very funny.
Kazarian bet
You know when they make fun of you, it means they're jealous.
Good one.
All right, guys. Thanks
All
for
right,
coming
guys.
in, helping out the commentary this week, and wish you a safe trip home.
Take care. Peace out, guys.
Ciao.
Filatov will limp the button. Kazarian checks the big blind. 9-7 king. Kazarian leads with his 9. Filatov with the queen of clubs. It's just small pot.
Interesting.
So Kazarian continues to limp the button. Filatov raise from the big with 3 deuce. Going much bigger now. 35 million. Kazarian a 2-1 favorite with queen high. And he's going to re-raise 108 million with queen 4. Doesn't re-raise with queens, doesn't re-raise with ace queen, but queen 4, he's going for it.
Слишком много поставил.
Filatov raises Jack-9 suited on the button. Will Kazarian 3-bet this one? Just 3-bet and showed a 4. This time he will 3-bet a big pair. 45 million more for Filatov to call. And that is what he does. Kazarian now getting him as playing big pots. 130 million chips in the pot. Filatov with just 220 behind. King, Jack 3. Filatov pairs his Jack. Kazarian's 10's getting worse and worse. There's a third club comes on the turn. Deuce on the river. Filatov does go for value on the river, betting 50. Kazarian find a fold here. Very difficult.
10 секунд. 5.
Сколько?
5 секунд. Пас.
Покажешь? Покажешь?
And he does make the fold. Filatov shows him the 9 of diamonds. Get him wondering.
Хорошая ставка. Чего? Хорошая ставка, говорю. Сильная была.
Kazarian limps the button with 8-3. Filatov checks his option with king 7. And 10, 4, 5. 3 diamonds, both players check. 8 on the turn. Kazarian takes the lead. Filatov now bets. Kazarian will give up his pair. Filatov limps king 4 suited. Kazarian checks his option with queen 10. The flop queen 9, 8, 2 clubs. Kazarian top pair, gut shot draw. Filatov the king high flush draw. We'll certainly see some betting in this hand. Ace of spades on the turn. Filatov will bet now, try and put pressure on a hand like an 8 or a 9. Of course, Kazarian with a queen won't be folding. 5 on the river. Let's go check, check. Kazarian wins that one. And gets back to a 2-1 chip advantage over Filatov. Blinds going up. 5 million, 10 million. Kazarian limps in. Filatov looks ace-10 off. He will raise. We see another action flop. Ace, king 5, 2 clubs. Kazarian with the flush draw. Filatov top pair. And Filatov is going to come out. And looks like he's sizing a pretty big bet here. 80 million in the pot. Bets 40. Kazarian with the queen high flush draw. Expect us to call. Still beats plenty of hands. So another huge pot here in this heads-up match. 5 pairs the turn. Bit of an action killer. Filatov does bet once more. 87 million the bet. Kazarian is going to call. Perhaps he sees this as his chance to win the tournament. Should a club roll off? Of course, queen high still ahead of the bluffs. offsuit 7 on the river. 334 million in the pot. Filatov with 144. Does he check now and try and induce a bluff from Kazarian? Kazarian checks back, hoping Queen High can win. He'll see an ace. And as quick as that, Filatov now with the chip lead. Albeit a very slender one. For those who entered Philbort's personal giveaway, guessing how many times Kazarian will win the pot post-flop with the worst hand. The count is currently at 0. Filatov limps, Kazarian raises pocket fours. Filatov does call to see the flop. These two continuing to play big pots. 10 deuce 3. Doesn't get a lot better for Kazarian. His fours. Seeing only one overcard. See bets for 45 million. Not much Filatov can do here.
Не попал?
Kazarian limps the button. Filatov checks his option, holding 10-8. Here we go. Another potential action flop. Filatov top pair. Kazarian opening a straight draw. And he is going to raise it once Filatov leads that top pair. $10 million up to 35. Filatov improves the top 2 on the turn. Kazarian doesn't continue to fire, and look at this, makes a straight on the river. And Filatov cutting out chips for a value bet with his 2 pair. Kazarian the bottom straight will, of course, quickly call. Filatov shows his hand. Kazarian turns over the straight. Again, very fast play here in this heads-up battle. Quick look at these two's stacks then. Kazarian with 56 bigs, Filatov with 35. Confirmation of your earlier finishes. Malashev got 3rd place for just over 445,000. Kodorenko 300k, Melnikov 200, and Tremzin went out in 6th for 140k. Filatov limits the button. Kazarian checks his option with King Deuce. 9-6-4 rainbow. Before Filatov's chips hit the deck, Kazarian had folded.
Борьба за 20 миллионов, да, получается? Борьба за 20 миллионов рублей за 21.
Видимо, так.
Неплохие деньги разыгрываются.
Вообще неплохие.
Kazarian limps the button. Filatov checks with the
Сколько
dominated
самый
Jack
большой
7 from the
выигрыш
big.
у тебя был?
270 тысяч.
Это в интернете или вживую?
Живую.
King, Queen, Deuce. Kazarian checks back his Jack high. Filatov will bet his on the turn. Kazarian snap calls once more. Queen pairs the river. Filatov gonna fire again. Kazarian small wastes no time, but this time
270 тысяч.
folding to the bluff.
Получается чуть меньше, чем мы разыгрываем. А ты не имеешь, да, права играть в старзах, там всяких других румах? Имеешь, да?
А, мое слово, что ли?
Ну, стримить не имеешь права, да, наверное?
Ну, естественно.
Filatov limps from the button. Kazarian checks his option. Queen 4. Jack 8, 5. And here we go. Kazarian check raising. Queen 4. Just some backdoor draws. Filatov. I'm going to think about this one with King 3. But he does let it go. And for those in the Philbot competition, that is the first time Kazarian has won post-flop with the worst hand. Count at 1.
Из Москвы, да, ты?
А?
Из Москвы ты?
Угу.
В кэш вообще не играешь, да?
Не, конечно.
Даже в интернете?
Не моя тема.
Почему?
Не нравится.
Не нравится?
Anatoly Filatov heads up for his home millions. Dream he talked about just last week in the Poker Podcast. A dream come true. The dream was to win. He is one step away from that. Filatov limps Jack 3. Kazarian checks 9 deuce. Filatov flops top pair. And gets it through. If you are just joining us, you are watching the culmination of 5 days of play. This is the Party Poker Live Millions main event. These guys playing heads up for the million first prize and the trophy. We are heads up in Sochi. One of these guys will be the champion. The other will have to console themselves with 650,000. Kazarian has no interest in playing 10-3.
Туз король, дамы могли выставиться. Туз дама.
Ну там ривер непонятный.
Там ривер непонятный, да. Ну, тебе поинтереснее, наверное, было бы.
Ну мне, я с дамами всегда против туз королевы стою, минусовая у меня постоянно.
С туз дамой могли выставиться тоже. Я бы там выиграл, кстати. Если бы с туз дамой выставились, я бы выиграл.
Я хочу продлить это удовольствие. Понимаешь, я первый раз в жизни играю в финале.
Покайфовать пока.
В финале, да еще и хедзапе, да еще и...
Tough. With the button limps 5-3. Kazarian.
Учиться-то надо чему-нибудь.
Down at 7-3.
Да?
Не знаю. Покайфовать, да.
Filatov bets his straight draw. Kazarian folds 7 high.
Голова болит. Опять.
Jacob on the My Partypoker live chat says 1 done, 17 to go. With you, buddy. I guess a little high on this one. Looks like I'm going to lose 100 to Phil and Jack. 4-5-8. Kazarian checks back his gut shot. I totally caught the gut shot himself, but Kazarian picks up a flush draw now. And Filatov checks that turn. Kazarian gets it to number 2. Second time he has turned the weaker hand into a winner for showdown.
Ой, еще фотографироваться, интервью — это самая нелюбимая вообще вещь.
Filatov limps. Kazarian with a small raise from the big blind. Filatov with queen 4 off.
Подставой какой-то пахнет.
Not a hand he's going to play.
Нет?
Ну, хорошая была.
25. 25.
Kevin Butcher asking any interpreters about. They are chatting a lot in this heads-up match. I don't know what about. I will try and find out. See if I can get one of my Russian counterparts to fill us in.
А у нас нет шафа машинки? Шафа машинки нет?
Эти карты, наверное, нет.
А, точно.
Что там за подсказки пошли?
А?
Что
Нет, там
за
ничего нет.
подсказки пошли?
Никак не пошли.
Filatov limps the button. Kazarian checks his option with ace-3. Flop. 3-5-9. Filatov with a gut shot checks behind. Kazarian happy to check his pair. This time, Filatov will bet. Kazarian, of course, calling with that pair. 5 pairs the end. Check, check. Kazarian takes down another one.
Не доехал.
did ask a Russian speaker about the conversation at the table, and they say it's nothing in particular, they're just discussing the hands they're playing. Nothing more than that. Kazarian on the button, ace-3. He limps in. Filatov going to raise it up with queen-10. Hand that plays well post-flop. Kazarian will, of course, call with his ace. And queen 10-3 rolls off. Kazarian with bottom pair and the backdoor nut diamonds. Filatov's top 2. Another spot where we could see a big pot. Well, Filatov decides to check. Kind of a peculiar decision given how passive Kazarian has played in this heads-up match. He's going to get bet called on the turn. Board getting scary up. Jack on the river. Don't get much scarier than that. It's possible now if Filatov were to check, Kazarian could take this away from him. He does decide just to check back. Filatov's 2-pair win at showdown. And the stacks get a little closer to even once more.
Платил бы 1,070 000.
А сколько?
70.
70? Ты сказал 1,070 000, а я забыл, что здесь по миллиону фишки. Я думаю, в смысле 70 миллионов? С королем бы платил.
Action goes check, check on 10-9 deuce. And checks all the way to the end. Where Filatov will min bet. Kazarian gives up that 5 high. Kazarian, queen, deuce on the button. He limps. Filatov checks his option. Queen 9 off. 10-7-3. Both players check. Filatov checks once more on the 4 turn. Kazarian is going to bet. Filatov folds. And that's number 3 for those in the Philbort competition. Filatov coming in for raise king queen. Kazarian looks at 8-4 in the big. Will defend. And once more Filatov flops top 2. This time he will bet when checked to. Kazarian, unfortunately for Filatov, had nothing to play back with. Kazarian, ace, 9 of clubs on the button. This time he will raise. Filatov calls from the big blind. Queen, 6-7. Filatov once more finding a queen. Let's go check, check, turn, pairs of 7. Filatov checks once more. Kazarian now will bet his ace high. Filatov does make the call. 6 pairs on the river. Goes check, check. Filatov wins another one at showdown.
Да.
Now takes the chip lead.
Единственное, ты попадаешь в эти хлопы.
Hope you guys have enjoyed all the streams that we brought to you this week from the fabulous Casino Sochi here in Russia.
А сзади там нету эти фишек?
We had 3 days of Triton high roller coverage.
Ну там 3 по миллиону.
А, желтенькая виднеется.
4 days coverage of this Party Poker Millions main event. And look at this. Once more, Filatov flops top 2. This time, Kazarian once more has nothing to play back with.
Получается, сотку, да, уже отжал у меня?
Anatoly has had the lead a couple of times in this match. Each time, Kazarian quickly grabbed it back. And Anatoly make it stick the 3rd time. Kazarian limps. Filatov raises yet again from the big blind. Different sizing this time. 40 mil. And well, Kazarian has 3-bet to 115. And well, this could be it. Kazarian has 3-bet to 115. Filatov with an easy jam here. And has Kazarian had enough of this? He does make the fold. So we might see Kazarian call out of frustration. Timing off there for the first time. Filatov crossing the 600 million chip mark. Filatov raises ace queen. Kazarian gives up the big. Kazarian limping the button. Fedotov checks his 10 deuce. And at 7-5 deuce, both players make a pair. Kazarian will bet his. It's 15 million. Fedotov calls neither player with a diamond. 6 of diamonds does come out on the turn. And not a card either player will like seeing. Both a 6 and a diamond. Completing draws. Fedotov going to bet big here with his deuce. Try and get Kazarian off exactly the kind of hand he has. And will work. Fedotov putting the knife to Kazarian's stack neck. 650 million in chips. Edging further ahead. How different this could have been. The second hand of heads-up play when they had equal chips. Ace, king versus queens. Just a single raise went in pre-flop. Not long afterwards, he had ace, queen versus tens in a similar scenario. One raise pre-flop. Fedotov limps this in from the button. Kazarian checks 10-4. And look at this, Fedotov turns straight. Kazarian turbo folds. Again, very refreshing pace of play in Russia. Over some of the other millions events we've had. These players not wasting time.
А когда перерыв будет следующий?
Fedotov
Хочешь сейчас сделать?
heads up with the
А может,
chip
5
lead
минут сейчас сделать, попросить?
for his home title. The same week he turned 30. He could not write it.
А, через час? Ну, потерпим, да.
Blinds now up to 6 million, 12 million. Kazarian with just 20 bigs. He limps in with ace-3. Fedotov will check queen-9. Ten, 6, 4. Kazarian will stab with the best hand and take it down. He really is getting short here, Kazarian.
Хорошая была хоть? Или такси?
Туз был.
Туз был? Хорошая.
Пробиваешь, да, все время?
А?
Пробиваешь?
Да
всё
нет.
время? Сам молчишь, ничего не показываешь. Все время спрашиваешь.
Fedotov limps queen 7. Kazarian checks queen 3. Queen 6 deuce once more. Fedotov has Kazarian in bad shape post flop. Well, there's a decent split chance here. I fear Kazarian could lose a big one here. 8 on the turn. Well, Fedotov decides to play it slow and checks back, and Kazarian this time finds a helpful river. He bets, Fedotov snaps, and we'll get the bad news. 2 pair will take this one down.
Дамы не хватало раз? Или переехал тебя?
Нормально. Дама 3 хорошие. 2 пары точно не бью.
And Vlad Fedotov asking, does that count, or only if Kazarian wins with the worst? Again, if you are just joining us, Philip Gruesome offered a 109 ticket from his own pocket. And you had to correctly guess how many times Kazarian will win with the worst hand post-flop. Now you make Fedotov fold a hand that is currently in the lead. Count currently at 3. Filatov checks, Kazarian checks back, queen high, 9 on the turn. Card that makes both players' hands look a little bit better. Kazarian, look at this, Kazarian does bet. Filatov check raises with queen high. And Kazarian will fold. Filatov turning the screw here. Surprised he decided to check raise. Check call would have been fine. Filatov will hit the button once more. Kazarian. Option with queen 5. Looks like he's going to raise this one. Does seem to have a random raising strategy from the big blind.
Человек много.
Based more on frequency than hand distribution. Filatov's suspicious, but I can't see him playing 10-7 offsuit. Pretty shallow now. Kazarian limps 9 deuce suited on the button. Filatov checks his option with queen 4 offsuit. Flops a pair once more. Kazarian with bottom pair. Kazarian is going to bet it. Filatov, of course, calling. Second pair, second kicker. 5 on the turn. Filatov checks. Kazarian happy to check it back. And a dirty looking ace on the river. Any 3 straight. Goes check, check. Filatov wins another one at showdown.
Дама пиковая, да, была?
Черная, не помню. Крестова.
Change of dealers. Filatov 53 bigs. Kazarian 23. The party poker Russian pro and ambassador holding a chip lead at his home event.
Попросил Машу, пожалуйста. О.
How much longer can this go on
Маш,
for?
дай, пожалуйста, таблетку от головы. Сейчас была. Я уже пил. Спасибо за совет. Говорит, есть таблетка? Водички попей.
9-8 deuce after Filatov limps the button. Number 9 on the turn. Both players content to get to showdown here with their high cards. And Filatov will win.
Примерно одинаковая комбинация. Ну, тут полно, да, спасибо. Сетрамо. Пока, значит, я таблетками закидывался, ты решил меня своровать. Все, что скрыто.
Kazarian frags a pot. Been all too rare for him in the last 20 minutes or so. Filatov raises the button.
Alan.
And Kazarian moves all in with his pair. Filatov with 9 high will, of course, fold.
Как все хотят окончания этого дня.
Ну, мы кайфуем.
Все рабочие, игроки.
Kazarian limps Jack 8. Filatov checks his option with Jack 4. Ace 3 3. Kazarian backs his Jack high. Filatov always going to hang around. Six on the turn. Can Kazarian get this to showdown?
Чек сдался.
Does go check, check.
Ну, такой валют я бью, брат.
Okay, we'll chop this one. Threes, ace, jack 10.
А нет,
Делишь.
делишь. Чем ты колешься?
Да я... Он червоный. Казалось, что нет. Да, что-то я не вколил, что-то чекал. Сильно, да? Нормально. Поделил. Успехи.
Filatov limps the button, jack 4. Kazarian raises queen, jack suited. Filatov will release his offsuit jack.
А мне что-то не очень. Разномастно.
Разномастный у него.
Флеши не соберешь, стриты не соберешь. Как играть?
Значит, надо фул или каре.
Каре не оплатят.
2 раза, кстати, собрал в этом турнире каре.
Каре? Нормально. Три раза стрит-флэш?
Нет, стрит-флэш нет.
These two have definitely slowed down a bit. Less big pots going on.
Флэш, да. Стрит,
Kazarian
да.
limps. Filatov with 7s.
Стрит-флэш нет.
He's going to raise it up. Kazarian surely 6 deuce off. Won't continue.
О, катается стол. Я знаю, почему я проигрываю. Убрали мой стул. Фартовый стул убрали.
Filatov
Не, вообще за твой почти
with the
посадили.
button. King 4 off. Continuing to
Check.
limp in. Kazarian checks back his jack high. And flops a jack. Goes check, check. Turns 2 pair, decides to bet it. Filatov calls with king high. Does have a gut shot draw. 6 on the end. Kazarian. So he's going quite big here. 45 million the bet. Well, he hasn't bet twice for a long time.
Хорошая была бы.
For that reason, Filatov will let it go.
Какие-то я бил.
Нет, мою я рубил.
Last coverage of this festival for you guys watching on stream. Last 2
Может,
players,
перерыв после
Gor
этого
Kazarian,
уровня? Через 14 минут что-то в туалет забегать.
Anatoly Filatov on table orange here at our dual
Перегорел.
feature
А
table
мы
setup.
можем сами, ну, договориться, они нам сделают.
Да?
Конечно.
Давай.
Kazarian with
5
queen
минут.
9.
Ну, 10 хотя бы.
Ну да, минут нам перерыв небольшой нужен.
He limps in. Filatov gonna raise it up with Jack 10 suited.
А,
Only
27.
15 million more. Peculiar raise sizing. Telegraphing his hand
Ну,
somewhat.
перерыв после этого уровня можно? Минут 10.
And queen 9-7. Filatov opened a straight draw. Kazarian top 2. Kazarian will bet 35 million. Filatov, remember, was the pre-flop raiser. He decides to play as a check call. 125 million chips in the pot. Wow, the turn is a king. This could well be it for Kazarian. Filatov checks the nuts over to Kazarian. And well, it's hard to see how this won't be the end. 55 million the bet from Kazarian. Filatov out of his chair. If he were to just call here and the river come a brick.
All in?
All in.
Well, he's gone for it. He's checked jam. He thinks Kazarian isn't betting twice without a hand, and I think he's right. Kazarian has played very passive for the last 40 minutes.
Тузуете, что ли?
Kazarian very worried about
Ну, кол.
2-pair combos with a king. But he has called. He has called. Filatov has the nuts. Kazarian with queens up. Kazarian will need a queen or 9.
Повтор нужен.
Otherwise,
Девятый
Anatoly
доwn.
Filatov will be
Загодится.
the champion. The pot 666 million. Ace on the river. Filatov is the champion. And cold deck in the end to finish it. Well, fantastic play from Gor Kazarian. He was terrorizing these guys when they got short-handed. But it is Filatov who came from a heads-up deficit to defeat his fellow countryman.
Друзья, перед вами чемпион главного события Millions Rush Анатолий
I'm going to
Филатов,
throw it to Marie Lav for an
амбассадор
interview.
парtypoker, Толя. Первые минуты, друзья, вся российская аудитория. Первые минуты давай для англичан наших, для интернациональной аудитории.
Sure.
Уделим 1 минуту, потом в своей тесной компании поболтаем. What are you feeling right now? 1 minute.
What?
What are you feeling? What?
Very tired, very exhausted. Don't realize that I won this tournament, especially in my hometown. And in 8th of August, it was my birthday, 30 years old, so such a good beginning of this year. I'm pretty glad to be here.
Окей, друзья, теперь вся Россия, весь Лёля, иди к нам. Вообще-то я хотела, чтобы сейчас... Мы, первый мой вопрос был, где Лёля?
Внизу сидела, ждала, смотрела, я знаю.
А можно я Толика на секундочку?
Да.
Толечка, рассказывай, что ты чувствуешь? Расскажи про победу.
Ну, сложно все было, сложно, но удалось выиграть. Хорошо складывалось. Даже когда проигрывал, хорошо складывается в целом. Не могу жаловаться, много выиграл.
Слушай, 60 миллионов рублей. Это огромная сумма не просто для любителей, это огромная сумма даже для профессионала, для такого, как ты. Несколько дней назад ты мне сказал, что если ты пройдешь далеко, ты Лёле купишь платье в H&M. Вот скажи, сейчас, когда ты занес первое место, когда ты затащил 1 миллион условных единиц, может, ты хотя бы один H&M полностью скупишь, там, допустим, мега-химки H&M?
Ну, мне-то он вообще-то другое обещал купить.
Что?
Ну, потом увидите.
Лёлечка, иди сюда. Толя вообще еще пока без чувств. Расскажи, где ты была весь день, потому что мы думали, где Лёля.
Внизу смотрела.
В общем, хочу сказать большое спасибо Маргарите, девушке Алексея, покерного игрока, потому что она психолог. Она со мной весь день работала, я была на грани инфаркта, просто пила там пустырничек, все, притаилась в углу, конечно, все смотрела, Толю не отвлекала, тихонечко сделала вид, что я мега занята, у меня нет связи, чтобы он не отвлекался на меня. Вот, ну, конечно, я смотрела и сейчас в уголочке сидела, чтобы он меня не видел. И, конечно, очень рада, тяжелый турнир, очень много было таких моментов, что терялся стек, у меня сердце падало просто в пятки, но сложилось так, как сложилось, и абсолютно заслуженная победа, и я очень рада за Толю.
Толя, мы тебя вот прям от всей души поздравляем. Но это еще не все. Расскажи, 60 миллионов, иди теперь ты сюда.
Так.
60 миллионов, огромная сумма. Как это изменит твою жизнь? И расскажи, вспоминаешь ли ты сейчас тот день, когда partypoker live сказали, будь нашим амбассадором?
Ну, вспоминаю, конечно, отличный день. Я думаю, что у нас очень хорошо идет сотрудничество, видишь, как у меня складывается.
Нормального парня подписали, молодцы.
Да, рад, что такой результат показал. Думаю, что некоторые люди тоже рады, которые являются моими дольщиками, в том числе, например, да. Но в целом я как спонсор ПРО очень доволен тем, что достойно представил рум у нас в России, в нашем доме.
Какие дальнейшие планы?
Дальше, возможно, мы поедем на Алтай. Так что посмотрим, у нас будет серия ЯПТ здесь.
Да, друзья, с 24 августа по 2 сентября, я не знаю, в какую камеру смотреть. В общем-то, уже через 10 дней мы все едем на Евразийский покерный тур на Алтай. Билеты разыгрываются PPL Money.
Как обычно.
А потом Карибиан.
Ну потом, Маш, ты так далеко вперед заглядываешь. У нас еще в СОП Европ есть, СОП Серпет, потом, конечно же, Карибы, Багамы, Ноттингем есть. У нас так много серий, что я даже не успеваю на все ездить. Но надеюсь, что получится.
Расскажи про финальный стол.
Ну, очень все складывалось хорошо. Как ты видишь, что я выиграл такой приятный all-in, ну, для меня, против Константина, когда 3-бетнул, но потом складывалось, где-то заходило. И, ну, в целом, играл, думаю, более-менее нормально.
Ну, в хедзап ты вышел с меньшим стеком.
Ну, я вышел 380 на 5. Ну, примерно равные стеки у нас были. Ну, я там падал, да, до 280, туда-сюда гоняли. Мы могли, на самом деле, 2 раза выставиться, просто так очень аккуратно играли. Получилось, что туз-король 2 дамы мы не выставились, я там проигрывал бы, скорее всего. И десятки в туз-даму мы не выставились. В общем, ну, много раз мы не выставились. Ну, вот как-то так.
Вот сейчас, когда мы тебя отпустим, буквально через часик после фотосессии, еще несколько десятков интервью, кому ты первому позвонишь?
Позвоню?
Позвонишь.
Я не знаю, никому не буду звонить. Я обычно сейчас мне уже
Он
телефон
будет принимать звонки.
начинает сам звонить.
Я думаю, что все за ним следят, все поддерживают и будут звонить сами, да.
Как ты боролся с напряжением?
С чем?
Нет, ну вообще-то я думала, что Лёли здесь нет, и я собиралась, чтобы ты в прямом эфире для одной девушки на планете заспойлерила.
Да
Позвонил.
нет, конечно, она здесь. Я знал, что она смотрит и так далее. Я просто знал. Я уверен был, что она сейчас придет, когда я выиграю трофей. И вот так и произошло. У меня, кстати, нету трофея, я очень много проиграл за первые места. Рад, что в этот раз мне удалось.
Проиграно.
Да.
То ли он, поскольку МТТ-игрок, он даже кэш почти не играет. Да?
Так не везет.
Важно именно выиграть.
Но вообще-то несколько дней назад в интервью с Анатолием Филатовым Анатолий сказал, трофей меня совершенно не интересует. Я готов заранее согласиться на второе место и деньги, но трофей оставьте себе. Чувак, ну не всегда получается все, как загадываешь.
Yo, man, да? Ну да, ну пришлось побороться, раз такая возможность появилась. Хорошо складывался турнир, отлично турнир провели, я считаю. Я доволен, я думаю, что многие тоже остались довольны, и те, кто вышли на финалку, потому что хорошие призовые, огромные, собрали небольшой оверлей, и, в общем, все круто. Я прошу прощения, что такое безэмоциональное интервью, потому что мы уже 5-й день нон-стоп играем, и вот сейчас закончили. Ну вот как раз, наверное, ровно в 12. Все как по будильнику.
А еще мы хотим поблагодарить Аню, девушку Гарика, которая научила нас принимать контрастные ванны перед турниром. И Толю реально это вернуло к жизни, так что в этом ее заслуга тоже есть.
Ты сегодня утром визжал, когда тебя Лёля в ванну холодную кидала?
Бросила просто меня на кафель. Да не визжал. Просто пришлось раньше встать чуть-чуть, у нас еще там нужно было поработать. В 10:45 сюда пришел, и как бы часик подзарядился с ребятами, мы хорошо поснимали, вот они как раз здесь стоят, наша команда парtypoker очень профессионально делают такой бродкаст. И после этого я сел и спокойно играли туда-сюда. Ну, бурное было начало, 2 стола, сделали финалку, и потом вот как раз всех иностранцев выбили, так очень негостеприимно поступили, и остались только русскоговорящие. Да, ну что делать?
Ну, ты осознал вот сейчас или еще нет?
Да я, конечно, еще не осознал, потому что я очень устал, я очень рад, что так получилось. Но если, то есть, если вы спрашиваете, как это изменит твою жизнь, что ты купишь, на самом деле особо не изменит, конечно, нашу жизнь. Но все равно приятнее, конечно. Амбассадор все-таки защитил звание. Да. Сейчас все начнут говорить, что все из-за наклейки.
Конечно. Вот клеишь наклейку парtypoker и затаскиваешь все.
Я не против затаскивать каждый турнир. Хотя в Колоссусе я не смог выиграть.
Ну, ладно. Друзья, спасибо Partypoker Live. Я думаю, мы начинаем фотосессию, друзья.
Да, спасибо еще передать.
Давай.
Да, хотел передать спасибо всем, кто за меня болел, кто поддерживал в социальных сетях, в личных сообщениях, здесь, игроков многих. Спасибо Сочи Казино. Вот, кстати, гораздо лучше стал сервис, я заметил. И Partypoker тоже спасибо за то, что мне предоставили возможность поучаствовать в этом турнире. Спасибо всем, ребята. Ура! Все?
Well, there we go. Hearing for our champion. Interview in Russia, but it is Anatoly Filatov who is your Party Poker Live Millions Russia main event champion, and what a story that is. He talked in the podcast just last week about how much it would mean to him to win this event, and that is exactly what he has done, taking down a cool million for that first prize. Of course, special mention to Kor Gazarian, played awesome short-handed, as did all these players, but it was Filatov who eventually found his way to the top. And Ilya, my Russian counterpart, told me the funny story that during that heads-up play, Anatoly's wife was too nervous and didn't want him to worry about her, so she was sitting downstairs in the casino at the bar, and they managed to sneak her up here at some point and get her sitting in a spot where Anatoly could not see her. Obviously, a great story for the Russian Party Poker Pro to take down the biggest event in Russia, the Party Poker Live Millions. And you guys won't have to wait too long for the next one of our Party Poker Live streams. We're going to be coming up to Dusk Till Dawn for the Millions UK. That runs from the 29th of September to the 7th of October. Main event, a £5 million guaranteed event, 5k buy-in. And I believe we'll bring you coverage from the 25k super high roller from Nottingham. I will stay with a minute because we may be hearing from Anatoly in English, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we are, but let me take this moment to thank my fellow commentators through the week. Simon was of great help getting us through the week, and of course our guests, likes of Jack Sinclair, Philip Grusin, both came in tonight to do spots, and of course John Duffy did a little segment, our Party Poker Live president. But that is it from myself, James Dempsey, and this Party Poker Live stream covering the Millions Festival here at the fabulous Casino Sochi. We will see you in Nottingham in a little over a month.